Emotion, I put it the harder I rock. We're better than you. We're better than you and
Yeah. Yeah. Ryan Garcia beats up Devin Haney, the former undisputed champion. And you got Ryan Garcia, the Twitter champ, that beat up the disciplined fighter. This is the worst, best fight I've ever seen. I was on a roller coaster in this fight. I was it's crazy. My wife was next to me. My son called me up. He's a Ryan Garcia fan. I don't know why, but he is. And he says, "Yeah, I bet on this, whatever." They come out in the round. Ryan comes out. He don't throw the left hook. He's patient. I said, "Yo." He starts letting some punches go, and before he even lands like clean shots, I'm like, "Yo, Devin ain't reacting." I said, "Yo, Ryan might stop. Might stop him." I mean, in the first few seconds, and then I'm like, boom! I just watched this crazy ass fight. I see a dude who can touch somebody and hurt them at any given time, and then shell up and terrified to get punched back the whole fight, and rocking this dude at any given time whenever he throws a punch. Whenever he lands a clean shot, he hurts Devin. And I'm going, damn, what's this going to turn into? This is the most disciplined fighter, right? Good skills versus a super talented, unskilled fighter. And it was like watching, not calling them bums as in bum fighters, but two bums fight. Like two bum dudes fighting. It was hilarious and fun, you know. And for all you dick riders out there, you know, that are all over Ryan, and all you dick riders that are all over Devin, you know, the guy's chinny. You know that from the Linares fight. He's got good skills. He's got good skills. He was in there with a guy that was a little taller than him, a guy who's got good speed, a guy who's got good power. There's nowhere near as disciplined as him. And I said, what's going to come with this shit? What's going to come with this? You know what this is going to do? This is going to push guys to push Tank. The guy not fighting nobody. So, I mean, I'm listening to the commentators and they're saying that this guy isn't, you know, he's crazy as a fox and all this shit. That's bullshit. Devin's chinny. This is why I was so hard on him about not fighting Shakur. Shakur got all this heat, you know, after winning the fight. Even I gave him heat because it was a boring fight. But he wouldn't fight this dude. And I said it a long time ago. Devin is representing, he's portraying what Shakur is. He's not Shakur. Tank, also a talented and skilled fighter, patient fighter, boring sometimes through the rounds, but pulls off the dubs. But unfortunately, we see him against guys that just ain't up to par. We see guys like Devin who were put in an awful position against Lomachenko. Like I look at it as a whole. I don't look at it, and I look at the future. And then you got Twitter champion that comes in there and pretty much wipes the floor with Devin Haney. Styles make fights. Shout out to B&B. I heard some of his shit. I was kind of thinking the same way, but I really felt like taking no credit from him, all the credit to B&B for what he said. But I'm saying I still thought Devin would win by decision. So I'll eat my crow. I thought Devin would win by decision based on his his discipline. That is not what happened. But I also felt that this man might have a shot because he's long, because he's big, uh, because he's fast. And I also said that this dude was talented. And a lot of motherfuckers always gave me shit about it. And I was like, he can punch and he's quick. But I hate to see people like that, even guys like Deontay Wilder, not master their craft because they got gifts from God, but they don't use them correctly. And that's what we've seen tonight. We've seen a guy who couldn't finish a dude who could have wiped the floor with Devin Haney because of the stylistic matchup. And he didn't. They kept saying things like, well, if he knew the left hook was coming, why didn't he have the right hand up? Right, I get what you're saying, but he couldn't see it. He didn't see, or the left hand, the left hook. He couldn't see it because the dude is talented. He could throw a jab and turn it over without you seeing it. And he's got pop on it. So I don't think Devin Haney's a bad fighter. I don't think Ryan Garcia's a bad fighter. I just thought that you just seen the most least disciplined fighter with super talent and a super disciplined fighter with not much pop, and obviously, he's chinny going at it, and it was somewhat a back and forth, but the bottom line is Ryan beat the dog piss out of Devin Haney. So this is a reality we got to deal with as boxing fans. That shit happened. And the Twitter champ beat up on the former undisputed champ. So I hope this don't, well, I know it's going to push Tank to another level because that's not good. Tank is a patient fighter with a decent chin and good power that don't fight elite fighters. Okay? Devin Haney fights elite fighters, and fortunately, he got in with guys where his attributes matched up extremely well with them. And when I'm trying to touch on these subjects, the subjects change. But that's what happened. And I didn't see it going down like that tonight. So I'm not saying it. I'm a fucking what do you call it? A fucking a fucking someone who could read the future. But I mean, man, it played out how it played out. That's boxing. But I wouldn't be saying that this dude. I'm not sure if Devin Haney ever gonna be the same. I mean, quote unquote, look at the state of his face. But Ryan is not what motherfuckers is portraying him to be. Like now, all of a sudden, he's some sort of crazy hero. Nah, he's still nuts, man. And Like I still see a guy like Tio wiping the floor with him. I still see Tank beating him. And styles make fights. And you may see and this ain't hating on Ryan. This ain't hating on him. This ain't hating on Devin. But the amount of hate that I seen put out, because I don't see many Shakur fans out there. And I'm just like, yo, damn, ain't this shit telling you something? If Tank don't want to fight this guy, if Devin don't want to fight this guy, if your newfound hero don't want to fight this guy, then what's to say about him? And I know a lot of you motherfuckers, especially you non-boxing fans, are gonna say, "Damn, but he's talking about Shakur. Shakur got to do with anything. He's a Twitter champ." No, the Twitter champ just beat up on Devin Haney. Yeah, yeah. So 1-2 kid don't give a fuck, and I enjoyed tonight, but was a little concerned about the future of boxing in the process. I was like, God damn, this ain't gonna look too good. But it is what it is. Styles make fights, and sometimes you'll have somebody with that isn't disciplined, that isn't skilled, that can pull that shit off. But that's not the only thing I want to talk about because there's a lot of reasons that Devin shouldn't even have fought Ryan. The fact that he took that fight was a bit suspect, other than money. So, what about the guy that got robbed tonight? The Irish kid who got robbed by Barboza. That was an awful fucking robbery. That shit was fucking awful. And I know Barboza was the favorite in the fight, but I mean, did anybody who knows boxing have that guy winning? We witnessed a robbery, but we witnessed some very good fights tonight on the zone card. And shout out to the zone for making these big fights happen. I'm glad Boots is with the zone because now we can finally see him display his skills. Display his skills. Maybe the Bud fight happens. That might happen, you know, because where he was, that may not have happened. Now it is. We got undisputed happening in that heavyweight. And shout out to Devin Haney for being undisputed at 135. Take zero, I mean, I take no credit away from him for the things that he accomplished. But I criticize him, I criticize Ryan, I criticize these guys with constructive criticism, not because I dislike them, because I love the sport. I ain't got much else to say. Um, Shout out to everybody out here. Oh, what up, Jordan? Oh, I didn't even know y'all was in the chat. I was just running my fucking mouth. But hold on. I'll be right back, y'all. Let me get Okay, I'm bad, yeah. My bad. I just want to do this real quick. Y'all more than welcome to hit the link. I'd love to hear your opinions on what I just said. But I got Jordan in the building. That's my man's. Charles D in the building. My team. Y'all more than welcome to get on here and tell me your thoughts. I would love to hear what y'all got to say because I respect y'all opinions as boxing fans. And y'all been in this shit like I've been in this shit long enough to know what's what. Hit the link. Holla at your boy. But that's just how I feel about that whole situation. You know, um, we got some bomb ass fights happening. I feel like there was some. We actually kind of seen in this fight two people getting exposed. You know, uh, Devin definitely got whitewashed. But if you pay close attention, Ryan has definitely got issues, man. Like there's no way in hell this dude couldn't finish Devin. There was to me, he should have finished Devin. He could have finished Devin any round he hurt him. How do you touch somebody, hurt them, and then when they even attempt to throw a punch back, you just shell up, turn around, and go, "Don't hit me back." I don't know what it was. Back to Bully, not looking in his form either. That's a fact, Jordan. Back to Bully. Let me just hit these up. Beck the Bully was in there. I gotta say, Beck the Bully was in there with a guy though, Jordan, that a dangerous motherfucker. Because when Beck was swinging at this guy, that dude was answering back with a right hand, was laying on the ropes and exploding, and he was literally faster and quicker than Beck. And obviously hit him very hard because he respected his shot. Um, that was a good fight up until the end. I mean, they both being that there was a southpaw and a right-handed guy, they probably never gonna fight again, Jordan, because it was a tough ass fight for both of them. And on top of that, I mean, they're both explosive. So when they would come in, they would clash heads and shit. Being one's a southpaw and one's a orthodox fighter. There was so many things going on in that fight. I was extremely impressed with the Irish kid though against Barboza. When I seen him coming in and I seen his record, I was like, "Oh, okay. Is it a hyped up record or what?" And he immediately came in there and they compared him to other guys. He's a 6 foot, 140 guy, and he was extremely coordinated. Didn't have a big punch, but had enough pop to make Barboza respect him. Went to the body enough. There's no way Barboza won that fight. And fuck those stats. I don't listen to him. Shout out to the snake, the guy. You know I'm talking about, the commentator on the zone that's always taking shit from Chris Mannix, the motherfucker that scored it a tie for Devin Haney. You know, he he went full retard as well. But that guy, that Irish kid, reminded me more of Postal. He's extremely coordinated, good. I mean, really good speed, good footwork, was very active. But I gotta say, like, and let his hands go. But there's no way Barboza landed more shots to him or remotely as close as that Irish kid, man. That Irish kid whipped his ass. I mean, he won pretty much almost. I gave Barboza like 2 or 3 rounds, if that. And yeah, I don't know. And I don't know what Mannix was thinking about in that fucking Devin Haney fight. I mean, every time fucking Ryan touched Devin, the motherfucker just went left, right. Like every time he touched him, he hurt him and didn't even attempt to finish him. What's going on, Boxing Learner? I'm just curious to why why it went down like that. Like why he didn't attempt to finish him. You know, I think that has a lot to do with his lack of discipline. The fact that make I mean, even with the lack of discipline, I don't know why he went for the finish. He didn't go for the finish. In the first round, he was extremely patient. And I think that fucked Devin up. And then he just let his hand go. In the moment he touched him, he rocked him. As soon as he landed a clean shot on this motherfucker, he just went spaghetti legs every time. And then he didn't go after him. And then in the 12th, by sitting there sticking his tongue out and dancing around and shit, like I just don't get why he didn't finish him. It made zero sense to me. It still makes zero sense to me. I think the kid is talented, but I think the kid got issues. I think he got issues, y'all. And you know, I think he's somewhat popular for all the wrong reasons. I got so much shit to say, man. Like even with Devin, they like talk about how Devin was mad cool and calm and collected during the shit. And I'm like, yo, Ryan lost his mind. But Devin was doing crazy shit too. Saying crazy shit. Not as much, but still. And I just don't like how they just boost up one fighter, you know, when they pull off the dub. And I mean, all props to Ryan. You know, he's a talented kid and he pulled off the dub. I didn't think he was going to pull that off that way, you know, and he did. So, I mean, all props to him. And shout out to B&B because B&B was bringing that shit up last night. You know, I thought about it, but I was like, you know, he went out and he said it. You know what I mean? So shout out to him. But that's just me keeping it 100. You know, not everybody gonna do that on this platform. Half these motherfuckers is pushing these guys, and I'm no longer in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, weird promotions. I mean, like in no way, shape, or form am I going like I don't understand certain shit, man. Like I can't wrap my head around certain things that happen. A lot of these big channels out here know damn well they lying to you. I mean, about what they think, and they push guys like fucking Canelo Alvarez. And when Canelo Alvarez does well, I push him. But the shit he's doing right now by fighting guys like Jaime Munguia, and Jaime Munguia, it might be, you know, I'll be rooting for Munguia. And I'm not a big Munguia fan. And it's not because I just hating on fucking Canelo because he's a Mexican and he's doing well. This is where y'all get shit wrong, man. The motherfucker is a diva, man. The motherfucker is avoiding fighting the guy, saying the guy is too big, but he fought a bigger guy in Kovalev, fought a guy in Bibble who's probably the exact same size, said he was too big, and then if y'all recall, the motherfucker actually thought he won that fight. No criticism from his fans, you know? And this is what strays me not away from boxing, but boxing fans. I can recall coming online and talking about shit like this, and the boxing fans would be like, "Yeah, I caught that shit too," you know. Now I say that shit, and motherfuckers be like, "You're a hater." Man, I just love the sport. I love the sport, and I like when people doing shit the correct way. You know, when the champion is talking about how he don't need to fight nobody, and you praise that, stop calling yourself a boxing fan and start calling yourself a dick rider. When you say, he don't deserve a fight. He's the number one contender, but what did he really do and who did he really fight? Call yourself a dick rider, because that's what you are. You're a low key fag bag. You ain't about the sport. You just pumping up a motherfucker because you like the motherfucker or because he looks like you. I like the sport, man. And I don't care what a motherfucker look like. I'm like, you know what? That motherfucker got hurt. And I gotta give it to Devin. Devin never quit. Even though he got beat up by the Twitter champ. He never quit. And I gotta give it to Ryan. Nobody thought he had it that he thought he had that in him. And he did. He just ain't got a killer instinct. And that's why Devin went full 12 with it. And that's a fact. But these quote unquote faces of boxing won't fight Benavidez. You know? Andre gets his ass handed to him by Benavidez, and everyone's like, yeah, see, Canelo was right. Canelo didn't beat him. He had plenty of opportunities to fight this dude, and he chose not to. If Benavidez gets knocked out at light heavyweight, don't say he got exposed. Say, this dude whooped him, not Canelo. Don't say that Devin Haney is a flat out bum, even though he may not be the same fighter. When you take a beating like that, it could take a lot out of you. But I tell you what, Tank Davis didn't do it to him. He didn't even fight him. What's going on, Tony Reviews?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing just fine, man. I'm just trying to hold on to my sport, man. I just hope
What you mean?
some no bullshit. Because that you know how this YouTube shit go and where the fuck it go to. And I'm not trying to dismiss what happened tonight, but I'm just saying, man, I hope this don't fuck my shit up.
What do you mean?
Well, because what I'm trying to say is I hope this shit don't push Tank, because Tank never got in there with Devin. And styles make fights. So Devin still got a shot at beating Tank. Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
That was an awful ass whooping.
I don't know if he could beat Tank, because here's what I look at. He didn't even beat Lomachenko. This is 2 fights in a row he's lost where he gets to keep his titles. That's crazy if you really think about that. He got completely beat by Lomachenko. Loma was robbed. He got to keep his belts. Here, he got mollywopped from one end of the ring to the other end of the ring. It should have been stopped in the 7th, but Harvey Dock did everything he could to save Devin from being knocked out. He gave him 5 hours to recover. He allowed Devin to hold on to him for 30 seconds and then had the audacity to remove a point away from Ryan for punching on the break. Then Ryan goes on to knock him down 2 more times in the round, and Harvey calls it a slip.
Yeah,
So
but Tony, let's just be honest. I want you to be honest with yourself for like 10 seconds in this little conversation that we have. Ryan could have ended that fight pretty much at any more than I mean fuck what I mean Harvey Doc, yeah, I agree. But I was like, what the fuck is it? Like that was the worst best fight I've ever seen. If that makes sense. That shit was a whole olive. It was so bad and so good at the same time. But what I'm trying to say is, how many times did he have an opportunity? Anytime he touched Devin, he could have ended the fight. He had zero killer instinct. And you can say that he stopped him once, maybe even twice. But how many times did this motherfucker have if he was just a little patient, let this motherfucker make a mistake when he came in? No, you know what this motherfucker did every time he hurt him and he got up? And he threw a punch back. He shelled the fuck up and turned his back to him and started running the other way.
yeah, but you gotta
Tell me I'm lying. No,
you gotta
no, no, no,
understand.
no, Tony. Tell me I'm lying.
No, but what you gotta understand is at the
Oh,
same time, listen, you gotta understand that he's only 2 fights removed from where he got stopped by Tank Davis. So if you look back at the Tank fight, he had Tank hurt in the second round, and he went
that,
super aggressive and got dropped. Then he had Tank hurt again, went super aggressive and got caught in the body and stopped. So this dude's confidence is not 100% back, even in a fight that he was dominating. So the old Ryan, if you look at him whenever he fought Luke Campbell, if you look at him, well, Fonseca was really a one shot, but if you look at his past fights, even up to Tank, he would jump on you the minute you were hurt. But we
right.
see it with Devarte. He didn't jump on Devarte. He hurt him more than one time in that fight and let him off the hook, and then that stupid broke shell, cracked egg shell, whatever that is. And then with Devin, he did the same thing. I don't think his confidence is truly back. That's why he didn't jump on him. But at the same time, you also got to take into account that Harvey Doc was just allowing Devin to hold on for 2 minutes out of every round.
Yeah. No. I'm not knocking that. See but that isn't the subject I'm talking about. Because I mean, I seen all that bullshit. I seen the bullshit of him throwing his back out there. I seen the bullshit of him getting hit like 18 times in his back. And I'm not saying if you're giving the back up, I get it. Take the shot. You know what I mean? If that's all I can take at you and we boxing, I'm gonna punch you where I can hit you. If you're only giving me an illegal blow, I gotta get mine in. I mean, if that's all you're gonna give me and you ain't gonna fight fair and you're gonna shell up like a coward, that's what I'm gonna do. But the ref, after the second or third shot, should have been like, all right, boom, dude, stop, stop shelling up like that immediately. You know what I mean? And then saying, I'm not going to take any points from you. I'm not going to warn you for this, but I'm going to warn you from turning your back. The only reason you're getting them shots is because you fucking turning your back like that. And then
I kind of disagree because here's the thing about it. If you turn your back on somebody, we know that a punch then becomes legal, right? If you throw a punch at me and I turn around and you hit me in the back of the head, that's a legal shot. If I turn around and you hit me in my back, it's a legal shot. But here's the thing, though. Devin was overdoing it. While Ryan may have been doing that weird ass shell that he does.
Just said that. You wasn't.
No. But what I'm saying is, Devin wasn't landing one shot in the back. He was targeting the back and hitting them repeatedly in consecutive punches. Boom, 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 boom in the back.
Right. That's what I said. I just said that to you, but you wasn't. You taking the wrong thing from where I didn't say that he didn't do that. I said that's exactly what I said I could see you taking advantage of the situation for a second, but that's when the ref is supposed to come in and say, after like the second or third punch, like, boom. He was hitting him like 6, 7, 8 times. But what is he supposed to do in that position? He getting knocked around whenever the fuck he does. And then the moment he tries to get some get back, this dude just turns his back to him every fucking time.
Well, the
So
thing about it is, the ref Harvey Dock allowed him to hit him in the back every time. He never took a point. He warned him about taking a point, and then he just quit warning him about taking a point.
yeah,
And just
but you
allowed him to
can't
do it.
punch somebody and turn your back to them every fucking. That's not a fight.
Yeah, but he allowed Devin to hit him in the back repeatedly.
Yeah,
So I
but
don't
he
think
also allowed this motherfucker to turn his back every fucking time. I mean, that's a cause and effect, Tony.
I mean, I hear you, but there's
If
no.
if you and me are boxing, and I just and I get off on you, and I catch you, and I rock you, right? And then you go to get some get back, and I turn my back to you, shell up in the corner, and just put my back to you. Are you gonna stop punching me?
Probably not.
Right. What the fuck do you think Devin gonna do?
Right, but what I'm saying is I get what you're saying, but
Right.
I mean, if somebody turns their back, you can always step around, hit them with the hook to the face while they're leaned over in half. You can hit them with an uppercut. I mean, there's ways you can get around that, but I agree with you. If somebody turns their back to you, they should be warned for turning the back, and if you're hitting them in the back repeatedly, you should be warned for doing it. So yes, the ref didn't warn either one of them for doing it. He just kind of let it ride.
Hop on, Ross Clyde. Shit, man.
But yeah, Rosclair, I don't know why you can't find my channel. Did you spell it right? Toney?
Yeah. Why is it EY? Is that your real name? Like, is that, or did you spell it like that? Well, not you only gotta tell me if that's your real name, but is that the way that you represent it on YouTube? You like, damn, I'm not sure what the question was.
No, I know what the question is. You said I don't have to tell you if it's my real name, but then yet you asked about the name, and now I'm trying to think of a way to tell you about the name without talking about my real name. So it's kind
I
of
got you. Yeah, my bad. Don't even worry about it. It's just I ain't never seen.
I'll type it to you. Hold on. Read the private chat.
All right, cool.
Salute, yo.
Ross Clark. Well, salute to my man. Yo,
I'm just chilling. Hey, I can't. I'm subscribed to Tony's channel and I hit the notification a long time ago, but I don't get any of the notifications, and it's like that for a couple of channels that I'm sub to, and I don't know why.
I'm gonna tell you exactly why, man. A lot of like your channel, like my channel, like a lot of other channels and Tony's as well, they get blacklisted because we don't say shit that everybody else says.
I can see that. That's some fun.
I mean, you can call it conspiracy theory, but I'm just saying, if it's the truth, it's the truth.
Yeah, no, I believe it. It's fucked up. I believe it.
Yeah, they shadow banned the shit out of me. Like I've repeatedly, Ross Cloud, I've showed the where I have like 20 thumbs up but 0 views. How does that happen?
Yeah. See, yeah, I'm a resub
recently.
What for real?
Yeah, I was gonna put it in the comments, but I was like, nah. If I put it in the comments, they're gonna know I know.
Damn. Right.
But I'm gonna say it. Yeah, that just recently happened to you because I seen that you had 8 likes and 1 view.
Right.
And I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Right. Yeah, that's some bullshit, man. And I don't even go live that much, but shit, I be missing out on other people's pages.
Yeah, and it's awful because you know what I mean. It keeps good back like good fans or real people from fucking communicating.
Right.
What they're doing. But yo, man, we'll talk about that another time. Yo, let's talk about this fight. Yo, to me, I was just telling Tony, I was like, yo, this is the best fight I've ever seen. I was like, yo, for real. I see the talented, the most talented, undisciplined motherfucker against the most disciplined, untalented motherfucker.
Right.
And yo, this motherfucker, every time he touched him, he put this motherfucker in the fucking la-la land.
Yeah.
And he never finished him. And I was like, and then the other motherfucker, couldn't do nothing with him, even when he was shell up like a turtle. And I'm
Right.
like, and who the fuck rocks somebody and has that motherfucker on Queer Street, and then when the dude just throws like a jab with no legs, he
Yeah.
shells up like a turtle, like, don't hit me back.
I know. That shit is wild. I mean, he was giving his whole back to him.
Yo, me and my wife were bugging the whole fight. And then with the ref getting involved at all the wrong times, like Tony was
I
saying,
know.
which I
I know.
agree with, but that ain't the point I was trying to make. What really fucked me up was, what's the result of this shit? I said,
Yeah.
because now motherfuckers gonna say Tank Davis is the face of boxing. And I'm
Oh,
like,
I
no.
know.
I'm like, no. Don't do that. I said, stop
Right.
the fights, you know, and it's just like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Right.
I always said Ryan was talented. He just had no focus.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this one too. Oh, by the way, Ross Clark, I could put the link in his channel, so it's in the private chat. So if you click
Okay.
that,
Yo, why can't
also want to. I wrote why my name is spelled the way it is in the private chat. So if you read that,
Okay. Okay.
but I will say this: I am not convinced that Tank Davis can beat Ryan Garcia if Ryan Garcia is 100%. He beat a weight drained, could not rehydrate Ryan Garcia. I want to see him fight 100% Ryan Garcia, and let's see who wins the fight.
Now I get where you're getting at it, but you know why I still think Tank beats him? Because we seen what Ryan, even when Ryan had this motherfucker on Queer Street, he didn't know what to do with him.
Right. Right.
And I'm like, and the one thing, and the one thing that like the thing I can say about Tank is disciplined in the ring. He's extremely patient.
Yeah.
He will wait, and have a. And nobody talks about how boring his fights are until he ends a motherfucker. But yo, this motherfucker will wait, get touched up, talk to his corner in between, like, yo, he just punched me in the face. What do I do? But at the same time, that motherfucker will be patient, wait for a moment to get off and make that shit happen. And the problem with Ryan Garcia that we seen tonight, we seen in the Tank fight, we even seen in the fight before this fight, was he is not disciplined. He can't stick to a game plan. He's erratic as fuck. So the dude is, when he said it, oh, praise Jesus and all that, praise Jesus. I'm with you, bro. But when that motherfucker was like, I'm ADHD, he was dead ass serious.
Yeah.
That motherfucker crazy. I was like, yo, this motherfucker nuts. And I was like, yeah, this dude, he was like, I do erratic shit. And I'm like, yeah, you do erratic shit. But not taking away from the fact that he beat the shit out of Devin Haney tonight, because that's exactly what he did. I mean, he swelled his eyes up, his chin was swelled up, his front lip was all swelled the fuck up. I was like, is that his mouthpiece or is his lip? What, does he look different in the first, second round? I'm like, look at his lip. But yo, he beat the shit out of Devin Haney.
Yeah.
And how do I say this shit like articulately to make it even better? Like, he beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And still didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Like the only reason that motherfucker went 12 is because Ryan Garcia is retarded. That's how I'm gonna leave it. The motherfucker's a retard. There's something seriously wrong with that motherfucker. There should have been no fucking reason that Devin Haney should have survived that fight. And I didn't even think that Ryan was gonna knock him out. I thought it was possible. What's up?
God-given abilities always outweigh training. It doesn't matter. When you're God gifted, you'll always beat somebody that wasn't.
I don't know about that.
I'm telling you, Devin Haney is not God gifted. There's nothing about him that it makes him.
Right. Nah, I mean, you're completely right.
That's true.
Just hear me out. No, just let me finish, please. There's nothing about Devin Haney that is God gifted. He's not extremely fast. He doesn't have the best timing. He doesn't have the best footwork. He doesn't have the best IQ. He sure as hell doesn't have the best power. But what he is he's dedicated and he fucking trains his ass off. And he commits himself to the craft. So he is pure drive. That's what he is. But pure drive always gets knocked off the road when God-given talent steps into the room. And that's the thing. Ryan Garcia has God-given speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying there's.
Like you can even use Tank Davis. Look at Tank Davis. Tank Davis has got God-given power. So you had two gifted people, naturally gifted, born. What I mean by that is, if Devin Haney didn't train, he wouldn't be good at anything. If Tank Davis or Ryan Garcia never trained, they'd still be able to knock a motherfucker out.
Right. No. These are all facts. I get that. But what I'm trying to say is there have been guys that didn't have like a lot of power, had good skill, had decent speed, and just their skill set beat talent. I've seen that over and over again. I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, but it's,
you know what I mean? Where a guy is bigger, stronger, and even faster, and they still whoop them because they're smarter. They got more skills. Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson. I mean, you could go down a lot.
Oh man, Holyfield was God gifted all the way around. Like this dude had the fucking gas tank that never depleted. He could fight 100 miles per hour from round 1 to round 12. Like he never got tired.
Okay. So you mean to tell me that Devin Haney got tired?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not done.
Oh, okay.
Also, I would argue that Evander Holyfield probably has the greatest chin to ever box. Like that dude was like a fucking brick.
He got a good chin. Facts. Those are facts. I'm just saying, but you can't say that skill set don't matter. Skill set can outshine talent. Do you think that Floyd was faster than Zab?
Floyd was God-given talent. Like he was born gifted, like all the way around.
Gifted.
But let me give you an example.
So now it's all the way around.
I'm gonna give you a really good example of what I mean, so we don't have to go into like the nuances and everything. Take a guy like Tyson Fury, right? Tyson Fury is the most undedicated fighter that's probably ever fought. This dude can blow up to 400 pounds. He can sit around, lounge like a fucking walrus on a beach, eat chips all day long, step into the ring as a fat man, and still beat up the most talented fighters because he's God gifted.
Right.
That's what I mean. Like, people just aren't created equally. And like Devin Haney, his biggest advantage.
Hold on though, but you think that Barrera was more gifted than Nassim Ahmed?
Yeah.
Nah, come on. Now you're reaching.
Trash. I think Prince Nassim is one of the most overrated, overhyped fighters there ever was.
Oh, like, so you can just say that and then just dismiss the talent.
No. What I do
is talent gap between them two. No, that's crazy, man. Man.
What I'm saying is, Prince to me is no different than Wilder. He beat up a whole bunch of fucking bums. Yeah, he did all his movements.
No.
He had his
but okay, so you trying to say Kelly wasn't a gifted fighter with the chin and heart and skill and speed and left-handed and would be in the worst position and then knock a motherfucker cold out with two eyes shut. Like that ain't gifted. He knocked that motherfucker out. Like, come on, man. You can't see. You're not even attempting to try to listen to what I'm trying to say. So you can have a super skilled guy who's okay at a lot of things, and then and super skills, and that can overcome even talent. And discipline can overcome talent. But unfortunately tonight, it was too much talent and a guy that basically took on we'll say it like this. if Devin Haney didn't have any gifts, how the fuck did he get through Lomachenko?
Because he weighed 165 pounds and he lost that fight. They robbed
Yeah,
him.
I thought he
don't
lost
know.
that fight too.
I don't know if he lost that fight. I thought that was an extremely close fight. And
Devin knew
just
he-
edged Haney.
Devin knew he lost that fight.
I thought that just because, see, this is what I mean. This is how quick motherfucker. And I'm not saying y'all doing it because you've been saying it for a while, Tony. I know I've heard Ross Clot say it too, but I don't want people to get lost in the fact that, you know, just because something like this happens to a fighter, that you just erase everything. Overhyped guy, not real, just a disciplined fighter that can't compete at a high level. And I'm like,
not at all. I still think Devin Haney beats Teofimo Lopez. Stylistically, if he fights Lopez on the back foot, Teo will never touch him. Because
okay, so but tell me this: who's more talented?
Between the two of them, probably Devin.
You think Devin has got more gifts than Teo?
Yeah, I've seen Teo put on his ass by like weak punchers like George Kambosos.
Nah.
When Teofimo Lopez is on fire, that boy could box his ass off.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't get that.
I mean,
you lost me, Tom.
Teo damn near lost to Lomachenko, who didn't let his hands go for 6 rounds.
He beat the shit out of Lomachenko. And Lomachenko did everything in that fight to cheat, to try to even stay in that fight. If he wasn't holding, he was headbutting and elbowing that motherfucker. Every time that motherfucker cracked him, that motherfucker come in with a headbutt and busted his eye open.
Oh, no. I had Loma winning that fight.
What?
Y'all crazy, man.
Loma did not let his hands. He didn't really let his hands go to the 7th round. From the 7th to the 11th round, Loma was completely schooling outclassing Teo.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
And in the early rounds, Teo didn't throw enough punches either.
Nah,
and then Kambosos put him on his ass.
Around, man. He was slapping Lomachenko around. In that 12th round, yo, I'm dead ass serious. In that 12th round, that motherfucker got cracked. And as soon as he got cracked, he got cracked hard too. That motherfucker came in, headbutted the shit out of him, elbowed him, busted his eye open with his head, and then they stopped the fight because he was trying to finish him in the 12th round when his dad told him, because the only reason why Teo isn't the best fucking 140 guy right now and the best 135 guy when he was there is because of his dad. That his dad was saying, all you gotta do is coast Teo. If Teo didn't take that 12th round, that motherfucker wouldn't have pulled the fight out. I got that shit out on his own.
1-2. I give it to you. In the 12th round, he did mollywop Loma across the ring. I'm not taking that away from him. But in the 5 rounds before the 12th round, Loma was just dancing around him. Then you look at Teo. When he fought Kambosos, he got put on his ass. Kambosos isn't even a hard puncher. And Kambosos was outboxing him. Then whenever he fought Sando Martin, what did he do? Get dropped twice?
Okay, so if you put, this is what I'm trying to say. If you put Taylor and Kambosos in the same ring, who wins? Styles make fights, right?
I don't know how good. I think Taylor is washed.
Yeah, he's washed now.
No, he was washed before he got in there with Teo.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
So look. Here's what you got to understand about Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor had just got a robbery win against Catterall.
Catterall. Yeah, I thought he lost that fight too.
Yeah. So hold on, but pause. Wait a minute. So Catterall schools him. Then Josh Taylor was out of the ring for over a year and a half and had 2 injuries he was coming off of before he got into the ring with Teo. Like, he literally fucked up his leg and fucked up his hand.
So he fucked up his leg, he fucked up his hand.
Yes, he was injured. That's why the Catterall rematch never happened. And that's why he ended up fighting Teo, because he was injured for a year and a half. So all I'm saying All I'm saying is, while it is a good win, Josh Taylor wasn't 100%. He was coming off of what should have been a loss and 2 injuries, and he was inactive.
But y'all just told me that y'all thought Lomachenko beat Teal.
No, I didn't.
I did. I thought he won that fight.
Oh man, come on.
Because when I had watched it the second time and he was turning with Loma, and when Loma starts doing that turning and giving him angles, and Teal was turning with him, Teal wasn't doing nothing. He was just turning with him. He wasn't even like throwing punches.
I'm not saying he ain't inexperienced. I'm saying that motherfucker talented. The fact that he can even, how many people you seen even turn with him?
Who you mean? Teal? Teal was hella talented.
No, right. That's what I'm trying to say.
He's super talented. Yeah, 100%.
But then you have guys like Kambosos that beat him.
That was a style clash to me. I think if they fought now, he would fuck Kambosos up.
Then it's not a style clash. It's a skill set and discipline clash. No.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not saying that talent can't beat skill, but you can't say that skill can't beat talent.
Well, can we admit this? That I think the consensus is now out that Shakur Stevenson has always been better than Devin Haney.
I've always said that.
I don't think so.
I've been saying that shit for 4 or 5 years.
All right, I agree with you there. I'm there with you.
I don't think so.
I've always said that. The only thing that happened in that last fight that he was with, the motherfucker young, he do stupid shit. He went in there injured. He thought he could wipe the floor with this dude. As soon as he got in there, you seen how twitchy he was. He was like, oh shit, I only got one hand. I got to be careful. He coasted most of the fight and then stole the last couple rounds. And it was the most boring fight I've ever watched as a boxing fan in my life. And I flamed him. I was like, yo, I even named a video while you were sleeping, right? Yo, I bombed this dude, but I know for a fact that Devin Haney has been portraying himself as talented as Shakur, and he's not. And I said that shit, and you know that shit, Tony, because you be going to the UGC. I've been saying that shit for years. And that's the reason why that motherfucker, listen, I'll put it like this. When he wanted to move up to 140 when he first wanted to fight Ryan Garcia, remember? When they were calling the email champion?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm moving up to 140. Why did it take till he fucking got to till this motherfucker said, this is why I dislike Devin Haney. I bigged him up when he became undisputed, even though he kind of had an easy route. He was getting shitted on prior, and I don't like when they shit on people when they're in the rankings and they saying that they not real champions and shit. And I'm like, nah, that ain't cool. Because what I liked about what he did at 135 is he finished fighting Lomachenko. And I was like, good, he cleared that up. But when he bounced on Shakur and then tried to give him that bullshit deal, and then they said it was a 50-50, and all he was asking for was 35. And he was a 3-time world champion. And I was like, yo, this is bullshit. Oh, well, he made this amount when he fought Kambosos, which was also bullshit. It was just Thanos pushing shit. You would make 3 times or 4 times the amount fighting for 25% against Devin Haney when this dude was making $3 million a fight under Top Rank, which is a pull when considering he's getting that money from fucking fucking Bob Earl, who don't give up nothing. But he was giving that up. The problem I had with that whole situation was when the motherfucker offered him the shit and then he went the WBC route and activated the mandatory, Devin dropped the belt and moved up. Because he would have been forced to fight him, and then and even Shakur would have been forced to take whatever the WBC told him he had to take, but he would have had to fight him because he forced the Mando. They both would have had to fight, and then Devin said, I'm too big. And I was like, nah, man. He low-key just ducked him in a very strategic way. I was like, yo, this dude was like, oh, you are going to it? Well, I'll tell you what, I'll get down my turn. Even if I get that amount now, we still got to fight, but it ain't going to be on your terms. Boom. What happened? The motherfucker bounced. Any other person drops a title, any other champion drops a title to avoid fighting a fighter, that's a duck. Devin Haney does that to Shakur. Nah, man, he's reaching for greatness. Fuck that shit. I was like, bullshit. Devin was about to expose him. His dad knew he was about to expose him, and Ryan just did. So
I gotta disagree with that. I think Shakur is the weakest. I think he's the weakest link out of all of them.
Do you really?
I mean, he's talented, but man, Devin Haney resume far surpasses Shakur's for me to even say that this dude is better.
What? You know what?
Valdez is the only fighter on his resume, and Valdez is like straight up and down.
You know what's
typical. You know, Herring as well.
Yo, you know, right. But you know what's crazy about that? Me and at first thought you think that, right? Because I did for a moment as well. But you know what? I had this debate with Angel Santos, right? Me and Angel Santos was talking about it. And it was a casual debate. Like, we weren't all heated about it. And he was like, come on, man. Devin did this and he did that. I said, check this shit out. Go through their last 3 fights and tell me who got the better resume. I mean, their last 5 fights and tell me who got the better resume. Even with the Lomachenko fight. Tell me who got the better resume in their last 5 fights. And this was when he just before he fought when he moved up to 140. I said, you tell me who got the better resume. And we went through it, we went through box rec, and that motherfucker was like, oh shit.
Well, yeah, because Haney fought old ass Linares, and then he fought freaking Kambosos twice. That kind of hurt his shit there.
But who didn't he fight?
Well, he didn't fight Shakur.
There you go. and he had a better resume. So
he didn't fight Shakur.
No, this is all I'm saying. Like Shakur, I mean, like I said, if when Haney was undisputed and he got undisputed and he took on Lomachenko, I gave him big props. I was like, yo, shout out to this dude for even getting in the ring with Lomachenko and clearing that up. Because Lomachenko didn't get in the ring with him until he had something to give. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that happened. And Lomachenko put on a great performance. And Lomachenko has reached the ceiling at 135. I hope he never goes to 140.
Right.
But if that motherfucker went back down to 130, he would still be the dominant champion. If these dudes really were the same size, Lomachenko would probably give them the business. But that's not the case. And he's competing at 135. And
well, wait.
Go ahead.
But wait, 1-2 kid. To be fair though, wasn't Shakur campaigning at 130 still when Haney fought? I think when he fought Kambosos, bro was still at 130. So how was they gonna ever fight?
He fought at 130. He fought at 135, right? And then he was the mandatory.
Oh, okay.
And then when he was the mandatory and he got that position, that's why he was quote unquote capping and all that shit, signing the contract and all that bullshit, right?
Oh, okay.
Which was
I think I remember now.
All right.
I think I remember.
What he did was when he said let's make the fight, Devin said, cool, I'll give you 25%.
Oh yeah, that's right. The whole lowballing thing.
Right. And then he was like, well, hold up then. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? Like right after that, when he realized that he was getting lowballed, he just went to the WBC and said, I'm the number 1 guy, activate my Mando. The moment he activated the Mando, boom, he was gifted the belt because this motherfucker was like, I'm out. That's a duck to me.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a duck. It's a duck.
Because now you have to fight him or you're no longer undisputed. You're going to give up the undisputed championship to avoid the fight, motherfucker?
Yeah,
that's a duck. And nobody gets it like that. Well, what's he got to offer? Boom. And then as soon as and then he gets in with a guy that's been calling him out, right? And then he injures his hand and has the worst
Hey, y'all, I
performance
gotta
of
go to
his
bed.
career. All right, Tony.
Appreciate
Have a
you
good
letting
one.
me on.
Yo,
Salute, Tony. Salute,
Yo,
Tony.
I
All right,
appreciate
well.
your opinions, man. And enjoy the rest of your night, bro. Thanks for coming on. But all I'm saying is he activates the Mando. This man moves up, and everybody just pretends like, okay, cool, whatever. Yeah, nah, man. What did he do? And then he has the worst performance of his career, and then it's like, write him off. Write this motherfucker completely off. And don't get me wrong, I bombed him too. I was like, yo, that shit was awful. Even with one hand, I seen Gary Russell fight. Who was the Filipino dude? I thought he won that fight with one hand.
You talk about that one Filipino dude that got that punching power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot his name. Yeah, he did win that.
I thought Gary Russell whipped him.
Yeah.
I thought Gary Russell had more trouble with him with two hands. And then when he couldn't use his fucking other hand, his jab hand, and could just use his left, he did better. And motherfuckers was like, you're crazy.
Right.
And now motherfuckers, you know, a year and a half later, like, yeah, I think he won that fight. And I'm like, what the fuck? And, but that's why I flamed Shakur, because I'm like, yo, if you as talented as I see, then why didn't you handle this dude the way you're supposed to handle him? You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was a boring fight, but he was like, I guess he looked at it like, you know, I gotta just get the dub and get the fuck out of there and not roll the dice. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you made me look like shit.
Yeah.
I've been capping. You know what I mean? I just said this dude ducking you. I'm like, damn, this fucking sucks for me. But I'm like, oh well. And, you know, I'm gonna bomb you, and I'm gonna keep it moving.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it a buck though. If they fought, that shit would have been boring as hell.
Yeah.
It would have been really boring. It would have been like two guys who ain't really big punchers, all like that, and just it'd have been a chess match. Yeah, that fight is 50-50. It really is. Now that you put it, you know, shit.
Honestly, I honestly don't think it would have went that way. I think, to be honest with you,
Shakur would have schooled him on.
Shakur would have beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, see, I just don't like the holding that Haney does, man.
Yo, I want how many people hit Haney clean, and when they hit him clean, how he responds to them hitting him clean.
Who, Haney?
Yeah, when Loma was hitting him clean, how did he respond? I've seen Shakur get hit clean. Like, I feel like it was in his head that this dude, in his last fight, he was like, it was in his head. But I seen him get hit clean by guys, and then he would want some get back and would, like, throw combinations. And I'm like, I'm not going to erase that shit from my memory from one performance. I'm going to hope he's going to make adjustments.
No, you mean, you talking about Haney, right?
No, I'm talking about Shakur.
Oh, yeah. I've
seen him get cracked where he got hit flush, and then he immediately just fucking wanted some get back. And now Haney is the same way. So if they're in their crack, like if one of them land a solid shot,
they're gonna go at it.
Okay, it's gonna turn into a war because they're gonna figure, well, this motherfucker can't punch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what's gonna happen? One of them motherfuckers gonna get slept. And I guarantee you it would have been Haney. Because
it would most likely be Haney if somebody going to sleep.
Right, but nobody was thinking about that shit till tonight.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about that shit a long time ago. I was like, yo, I don't know. This dude can fight. He's skilled. He's disciplined. I shout him out for every accomplishment he's made. I even made a highlight video of him beating up on Cambosis. And I was like, you know, but what I'm trying to say is when these guys are doing the right thing, I shout them out. When they good for boxing, I shout them out. When they bad for boxing, I dog them. And that even goes for even guys. I flamed two of my fighters that I always usually represent is Bivol and fucking Shakur. Bombed them both. Bombed them both. Got video proof that I bombed them both. I was like, nah, man. Nah, you ain't getting away with that shit.
Right.
You know? But that's all I'm saying is I'm there for the sport, man. I'm not here to talk about, I'm not of course I enjoy watching certain people fight. I like watching who's the Mexican kid? Damn, I forgot his name. We were talking about him on Red's channel. The kid that just keeps moving up, man, and whipping ass. He's at 135 now.
Who are you talking about?
He went from 126 to 130 to 135 and a champion in every fucking division.
You talking about Never Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, Never Ready, cold.
I love watching that motherfucker.
Yeah, he's cold.
Favorite Mexican fighter, man. Like that.
Yeah, Never Ready's cold. He'd be even colder if he has some bigger punch. He'd be even colder.
You know what bothers me about that fucking dude though? Is that whoever his team is keeps shoving him up in divisions, and I'm like,
I know.
Already touched his roof. I'm pretty sure at like 130. Now he's at 135. I hope they don't try to throw this motherfucker at 140 because if you notice something about his build, that motherfucker never cut or nothing. He walking around with crazy baby fat on him. I'm not saying fighters don't do that, but at that weight, nah, man. I'm like, y'all throwing this motherfucker to the wolves, and
true.
You could be making crazy bread off this dude.
Yeah.
You just let him wipe out a division, move up, wipe out a division, move up. You know what I'm saying? And then he's only getting better in the process. You're risking losing this motherfucker in that process. Yeah.
I think he should stay at 135 at the top.
Yeah. Like Lomachenko, he's smart. That motherfucker said, I ain't fighting at no 140. Good for him. Because
I think Lomachenko
way bigger guys, and he's old, and he's still competing at the highest level.
Yeah. I think Lomachenko should have kept his legacy at 130, though. He probably would have been unbeatable.
Yo, low key, styles make fights. If Lomachenko at 135 for Ryan Garcia, he beat the shit out of him.
Who would win that?
Lomachenko would beat the shit out of fucking Ryan Garcia.
Oh yeah, he would. And plus Ryan Garcia probably be weight drained and all kind of other shit. Could you
imagine him shelling up on Lomachenko?
Yeah, Lomachenko would have been teeing off on him.
Yeah, dude, he would have changed angles on him, would have been in his face, would have turned him and went to town on that motherfucker.
That's a fact. He'd have fucked him up. Yeah,
and that's why I'm saying. And I don't think Ryan, and this is the truth, Ryan can't fuck with Teal.
I don't think so either.
But
it's just that Ryan is big. Ryan is big though, man.
Right, but Devin might give Teal problems because Teal might just have one of his fucking lapses. You know so right. Like, yo, styles make fights, and it ain't just styles. These motherfuckers got to be mentally focused. So that's why I say talent don't always beat discipline.
Right. Hey, 1-2 kid, you make it seem like Teal was like Duran. We don't know which Teal we get no fight night.
You don't go. When this motherfucker
hey, for real.
When he cold, that Asian kid beat the shit out. He was like, I'll never fight a motherfucker that big again. You know
right.
And then beats the fuck out of Comey.
Yeah, he fucked Comey up.
He goes in there with the pound for pound guy, beats him. Beats up by Kambosos.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. When the Kambosos fight was announced, I had to go to YouTube to see who dude was because I didn't know who he was.
Then jumps up to 140 and beats the shit out of Taylor.
Right? Yeah. Hey, Hey, I'm on record. I had picked Taylor to win that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yo,
I thought Taylor was gonna win.
I did too. Until the fight night, right when they're going to the ring, I was everybody on the UGC, Charles D.
I believe it. I believe it.
I was like, Chill gonna beat this motherfucker's ass.
Yeah, because sometimes you got to see the weigh in and all that, and you be like, I got to change my mind. That happens. Yep.
I swear to God, as soon as Ryan got in the ring, and tonight Ryan gets in the ring. I'm not just capping because I just said that.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I'm sitting there with my wife. My wife's a big boxing fan with me. She loves boxing. We sit down, we watch it. My sons watch it. My other son's up north. He's hollering at me and shit. He's still
that's what's up.
He hollering at me and I'm like, yo, Ryan came out. I was like, don't come out throwing fucking hooks. Please don't come out just launching. Don't give him the speed and all that shit yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a pro. Like, come out, use your jab. And Devin, I'm like, yo, Devin, lay back. Because I look at it from both sides. I want to see who's disciplined. This motherfucker comes out cool as a fan. I'm like, oh shit. And then he throws the jab, and then he kind of like he throws the jab, he feints, and everything Devin does is wrong. And I was like, yo, this motherfucker might stop Devin.
I know, man.
As soon as I said it, he throws a left hook. As soon as he touches him, the motherfucker's legs start jerking. And then the motherfucker's like, no, don't hit me back. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, them legs was gone, bro.
I get it, bro. I'll tell you what. Everything that Tony was saying was true as fuck tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard him. I heard him on the live earlier. He was saying that, man, that dude Haney's gonna get clipped.
Yeah, yo, he did, man. So I mean, it is what it is. But styles make fights, and these dudes got to be in the right headspace.
Yeah,
but sometimes that don't even help. We see
that's true.
Because we seen Devin. He's in the right headspace. You know he was disciplined as fuck. I was bugging out like, yo, Ryan right before the weigh-in, the day before, I'm like, Ryan looked big as fuck.
Yeah,
I was like, how the fuck is he gonna make weight? And then I'm like, then he made the bet for 143. I'm like, man, I hope that liquid gets to his head between his brain and his fucking skull. Because if you lose all that weight in one day, you can look good the next day.
Yeah.
But your brain's still dehydrated.
That's a fact.
So I'm like, yo, this ain't a good look. Then I don't know if he's drinking beer. Fuck all the shit that everyone talking about. I'm talking about what I see, not what the fuck I'm hearing, what I'm looking at. And I'm like, he can make Devin Haney look like a power puncher if this motherfucker's brain ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney catch him with a clean, like, right hand. This motherfucker, boom, go to sleep. And then he's I told you he beat the shit out of Tank.
Yeah.
But now it's the opposite direction. Tank will fuck everybody up. And I'm like, yo, man, it is what it is. And that's why I just need to shut my mouth sometimes and make bets.
Yeah, right. Hey, this is one of them ones, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was 110% sure Ryan was gonna lose. I'm like, ain't no way he gonna beat the former undisputed champion. Woo woo woo. Yep. And man, boy, I was wrong, man. It happens in boxing. I was
wrong too. I was like, yo, this dude gonna I'm like, it is. And Tony was right, and so was B&B. B&B was like really going in on it last night. I heard some of it. I couldn't comment on it, but man, he really went in on that shit. And I was like, man, listen. I was like, I'm kind of thinking the same thing. But I was like, but you know what? I was like, nah, Devin making weight right. He doing this right. And even with the extra 3 pounds, and even if dude come in heavy, that shit might catch up to him, But it did. You know what I mean? I don't know if the other shit he was doing was trolling, but I just don't like what motherfuckers was talking about.
Yeah.
All the shit that like, oh, it was all a game and he's crazy like a fox. I'm like, no, that motherfucker just nuts. And
Yeah,
that
he's just
motherfucker
selling
was
the fight.
doing that shit. I said it was a style matchup.
Yep.
He had a decent size on him. And
Yeah.
no excuse. But styles make fights. And
Yeah, it's
he
true.
beat the shit out of Devin Haney. And that's
Yeah,
all
he
that happened.
did.
That's
Yeah, he
all
did.
that happened, man.
And
That's all.
I think he'll beat him again, bro.
He will. He will.
Yeah.
It's
It's
clear
the
as
punch.
day.
It's the
He
punch,
can't
man.
he
Yeah.
can't see it coming, man.
Yeah, he can't.
He can't, and he's not fighting the guy. Think about it. His best wins were against Lomachenko, right?
Yeah.
And
Small guy.
against and right and the dude from New Orleans,
Progray.
Progray, right?
Another small guy.
Yup. So,
Yeah.
but they were both small. One
Yeah.
dude had more skills, one dude had more power, but
Yeah.
he can maintain that range on him.
Yeah,
And
they got those short arms.
right now, if
Yeah.
he throws that jab and you can hook over the top of that shit, and
Yeah.
your hook has got power, and Linares hurts you, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And get away with the shit, and I'm like, yo, this dude just
You know,
fucking.
yeah, I wonder if a lot of these new fighters study the sport like how Mike Tyson used to study it. Because if I was to train Haney like or advice, I would tell him to watch Bernard Hopkins versus Trinidad, how he took away Trinidad's left hook. I mean, he took that shit away.
Oh,
I would have him watch and study that and look at how he kept he knew that the left hook was gonna be there. So he kept that right hand glued to his fucking face.
yeah.
And he kept the jab there. He kept found his range and he kept the jab because these guys don't study fights, man. And I think they should because
So, you know how much money I won on
them
that fight?
motherfuckers quick, dude.
Yo,
Right?
I was young, man. Yo, I was hunting motherfuckers down in my neighborhood because I live upstate New York. There's a lot of Puerto Ricans in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I used to watch like Tuesday night fights and I studied motherfuckers.
Mhm.
And I was like, yo, Hopkins gonna beat him. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh man, nah, man, he just beat the one dude that he beat for the championship that was a low level champion. He was like, if he's too young, if he touches him, he's gonna hurt him. And I'm like, nah, Hopkins is a monster. At that point in time, Hopkins wasn't like he was smart like he was later in his career, but he was like a beast.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, man. And yo, I could half the motherfuckers in my neighborhood I couldn't find. I had grown motherfuckers avoiding the kid in my neighborhood. But they were ducking me like the dude, like $2 when he was running papers and shit. I'm like, yo, where my money at? These motherfuckers hitting the cuts of their cars and shit. I'm like, yo, give me my money. I'm like, yo, where the fuck is you going? Yo, for real. Like, I was really hunting motherfuckers down on the west side of Syracuse, New York. And these motherfuckers were ducking ducking a little ass kid. Like, yo, where the fuck you going? You know what I'm saying? People I used to look up to. I'm like, yo, man, what the fuck is you doing? It just made me look at life different. I was like, oh,
he wasn't. He wasn't gonna beat Hopkins. Hopkins just a true natural middleweight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think the only good win that Trinidad had was against William Joppy at 160.
Right, it was Joppy.
That really wasn't saying much.
They assumed the way he did Joppy.
Yeah.
Joppy was young and he was young. Yeah. And Hopkins was 36 at that time. Yeah. Like people forget that shit. I was like, yo, they were like, he's too old if he touches him. And I'm like, listen, man, they're like, you don't know boxing. And I'm like, yo, then I couldn't find these motherfuckers.
Right.
But yo, but I watched what he would do when he was fighting like who was the kid that he fought that was nuts and they were like kicking and punching each other in the ring.
Talking about Bernard Hopkins?
Yeah, he fought the dude twice. They rematched And he was
Antoine
not,
Eccles.
yeah,
Antoine
Echoes.
Eccles.
Yo, Echoes would put hands on motherfuckers and just knock them out.
Hey, Eccles could crack.
Yeah, that motherfucker.
Remember that?
Yo,
Yeah, he had secret little power that come out of nowhere.
yo, and I was
Yep.
like, yo, I said, fucking Hopkins is rematching Echoes and Trinidad
Yeah.
coming up fighting Joppy.
Yeah.
That's a different level. And
Yeah.
they're going to war. And I was like, yo, this dude is different. And but sure enough, and the way he did it was awful. Like the way he just cracked him and then shoved him. I was like, yo, he just cracked him with the left over the top. He blocked the hook and then caught him with the hook.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Like it was beautiful. It was art.
Yeah.
It was
Hopkins. Yep. Hopkins took away his best tool.
Like, go down. And I think Trinidad was a bad motherfucker, but Trinidad was sort of like a natural middleweight anyway.
Yeah,
but
he was
campaigning that fucking
147.
That's why when he touched motherfuckers, they went to sleep.
Yeah, he was 154, 160.
Yeah.
I would lean towards more 154.
Yeah, that'd be
but he could easily fight it. He was comfortable at 160. He was. He was really comfortable at 160.
Because he did fuck Joppy up.
Yeah,
because Joppy was a great fighter, but he wasn't.
But Joppy was smaller than him at 160.
Yo, Joppy was touching him with mad combinations.
Yeah, because Joppy was short. He was short with long ass arms.
Yep. He was kind of built like he was built like Porter.
Yeah, he was short with his long ass arms.
But he had a really good jab.
Yeah, he had a good jab. Yeah,
but
he did.
Every time, it was kind of like tonight. Every time he touched him, that motherfucker was like, "Oh shit, Queer Street." You know?
I know, man.
Yo, every time fucking Ryan touched fucking every time he touched Haney, man, Haney just someplace else, man.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, get him out of there. And then he just stopped punching. And then Haney would like throw a jab and he just shut up and just get in the corner. And I'm like, the whole fight went that way. And then Haney start fucking just hitting on him. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, man? Like, this is like the Twilight Zone, man.
Hey, you know what?
You beating up on Haney. Number two, you know what I mean? You landed on Haney that easy. And then you hurt him. And then as soon as you hurt him, you go the other way. Then Haney getting off. Then you touch him and you hurt him again. And then you run back in the corner. Like, what the fuck is going on, man? Then the ref gets involved. I was like, yo, I had so much fun watching that fight. But I was like, I can't really enjoy this. My girl was like, why not? I was like, because what is this shit going to be tomorrow? What are they going to talk about, man? Fucking crazy, man. What a game. I'll be right back, y'all.
And now I know, sorry about that. And now I know if Ryan, now we know Ryan's speed and his power is real. If they teach him to work on his feet, on his balance and his footwork, bro, gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, I'll be back, bro.
Oh, go, hey, 1-2 kid, I gotta go because my phone getting hot. You heard me? But yeah, man, I think Ryan Garcia is the real deal in terms of the punching power, but I still think he weak in terms of skill. I don't think he got the skill and all that. Hey, man. Yeah.
Yo.
Hey, 1-2 Kid, my phone getting hot. I'm gonna have to jump off. I didn't want to leave while you had left.
Thanks for sticking around. I'm probably gonna cut you short anyway.
All right, it's all good, man. Thanks for having me on, man. When next time you go live, I'm gonna jump on, man, if I can, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for coming on. Maybe I'll just
It's
drop
all
a
good,
video
man. Salute.
do it all.
Salute.
Yeah, have a good one, Rockstar.
You too, bro. Later.
I know that StreamYard will eat your phone up. I've been on that shit on my phone, man, and it tore my shit up. That shit get hot. That shit just start killing it. And I turn into RGM. We used to call him the 5%er. He'd always get on the motherfucking hop on a live at like 10% and be like, damn, this shit killing my phone. He just eat through his battery. But man, what a fight tonight. What a fight card. I didn't see really one boring fight all night. I gotta say it was very interesting. Shout out to B&B because that motherfucker low key called this shit, and not many people did, man. He gives me props when I call shit. You know what I mean? He don't sit here and pretend like he knows everything. So shout out to him, man, because you know he called this shit last night. So shout out to B&B. You know, I think Tony Reviews might have called this shit as well. He might have called this shit too. I had Devin by decision. That wasn't the case. We seen a huge fucking robbery tonight, man. If y'all caught the undercard, man, the Irish kid pulled off the dub, man. He got fucking super robbed tonight, man. He got robbed like awfully tonight. The Irish kid got fucking that shit was awful. And he got like a postal style. He's quick, but he got robbed, man. He got robbed, but most of the fights were great, man. I really enjoyed all of them. And I'll give Devin Haney props for not giving up, man. I mean, even though he was getting hurt and shit, that motherfucker didn't quit. He didn't quit. He didn't quit, even though Ryan had his number tonight. That motherfucker didn't quit. I don't know. I don't think he beats Ryan. I don't think he beats Ryan unless he makes some serious adjustments. Because Ryan was really manhandling Devin tonight. So Devin gonna have to make some serious adjustments. And he said he's gonna run it back. Hopefully Ryan can make weight. You know, they made money. I'm surprised the fight even happened. I'm surprised Devin picked that fight. You know, I thought Devin was on his way, and it could just be Styles make fights, man. It could be Styles make fights. I mean, he's a bigger guy, not bigger like way bigger, but he's just a tall guy, and he's got quick hands and talent. Overcomes shit sometimes, and that's what happened tonight, man. Because it was crazy after Devin was hurt and Ryan was hurting him. Ryan couldn't finish him. Was that his conditioning? I know what was keeping Devin up was his condition. You know what I mean? It certainly wasn't his chin. It was his legs. It was the fact that he's disciplined. So that's why he went before 12. It wasn't his best performance, obviously. You know what I mean? But, you know, I'm not going to knock him. I'm not going to knock him. He went in there and he did this. I knocked him about other things, and I gave him props for being undisputed, and being the champion, clearing up the whole WBC mess. You know what I mean? But yeah, Ryan beat him tonight, and that's what it is. And styles make fights. Styles make fights. And Ryan's a talented kid. He got good pop. I don't know if how much that power carries over at 147, but we shall see. after the next Devin Haney fight, right? Because he said he can't make 140. Said 143 is is the lowest he could go. Why don't you hop on, Charles? I got the link. The link ain't up there no more. Yeah, McComb. That motherfucker got robbed, man. That was, I mean, I know we've seen bad robberies, but that shit was awful, man. And nobody thought he won that fight, and then they kind of said, I don't know. They just started talking. Kind of like the Devin shit, too. They were like, oh, everyone said that Ryan couldn't do it, and Ryan was this on. He's just, you know, he's this, they say he's this, but he's a fox, and he played us all. And it's like, nah, man, that motherfucker crazy still. He just he just won the fight, man. It is what it is. Oh, you at work, bro? Well, you always welcome, bro, and I always appreciate you coming through too, Charles D. Always good combo with you. Ross Cloud was on, Tony was on. We was chopping it up, but yeah, yeah. Barboza lost, man. Barboza lost that fight, and that wasn't no easy win. I mean, it's not knocking Barboza or calling him a bum because they immediately called him a bum. You know how they would say, "Oh, I don't think this guy can compete with this." Come on, the dude's 6 foot, 140, fast as fuck, twitchy as fuck, accurate. Well, they kept saying how inaccurate he was, but the punch stats was lying. He landed way more shots than Barboza did, and the motherfucker was coordinated, and that's not. And he was a southpaw. That's tough. That's a tough task at that weight class to take on a guy that tall, that long, with that reach, that speed, in a southpaw. That's that's difficult to look good against. So I'm not gonna write Barboza off just yet like they did. They were on Barboza's nuts for the first 5 rounds until they realized they couldn't keep going with it. And that's how these commentators get down. They did the same thing with Lomachenko and Teal. They did the same thing with fucking Canelo and fucking Bivol. They did the same thing. Oh, even our boy Sean Porter was like, "Don't give up on Bivol. He may still be in this fight." I'm like, that motherfucker was in the fight since the first round. I didn't really give Canelo that many rounds when he said that. By the time he said that, I was like, "Yo, you acting like these." I don't know. Opinions are like a motherfucker. I don't know. I think motherfuckers get paid to say some of them opinions because you can't be a commentator, a fighter, and really believe the shit that some of these motherfuckers are saying, and they actually saying it. And that goes for some of these YouTube motherfuckers too. They can't truly believe that shit they be saying. They just know that's where the money come in. You know. But I thought the cards tonight were fantastic. I enjoyed them all the way. I hope y'all enjoyed them all the way. It's the 1-2 kid. Since one judge had it 7-3 Barboza, like what? Uh-huh. Yeah, right. Had that fight 9-3 Bibble whooped in his ass. Right. But you remember the commentators, man. That's what I mean. The commentators just be like, they work for the network. You gotta keep that in mind. And if 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 you seeing something and it ain't real, you believe your own eyes. Shout out to the snake tonight because he was like, they were like, he was like, yeah, but look at the punch stats, and he was like, I don't pay attention to that shit. So that's what it is. Oh, we got Brian Harkins in here. What up, Brian? How you doing, brother?
Yo, what up, 1-2 kid? How you doing?
Oh, hell of a fight. Yo, hell of a fight card, right?
I was a good card.
I thought it was.
Yeah,
They were all exciting fights.
yeah.
Barboza got a fucking gift.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, they gave that motherfucker alley oop. That was hot horse shit.
Yeah, that was crazy. I can't compute what I saw. You know what I mean? Like Like all boxing knowledge went out of the brain with that fight. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, Ryan Garcia got power. Yes, he's quick, right? But there's technical things he's not good at, and Devin just wasn't able to deal with it. And
Right.
you think a boxer like Devin would be able to
It's
do?
just styles make fights, man.
Yeah, yeah, no, it was crazy, right?
Yeah.
He got rocked in the first round, and I don't think Devin ever recovered after that. He was on wobbling legs, even though he was winning rounds. He was still wobbly. It was yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it was. It was fun. It was the best worst fight I've ever seen. It
yeah,
really was. It was an olive. It was so good and was so bad at the same time. I was just like, but the things that was like you, for instance, I was talking about this earlier. I know you could get what I'm saying. I was like, midway through the fight, I'm going, this is awful. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I'm
yeah.
saying this is awful because this is gonna be like, now I'm really gonna hear Tank is the face of box. And I'm like, yo, styles make fights. And that's
Yeah,
what this is. And I'm
yeah,
like, yo, this is not there's so many things and so many factors that factor into this shit. And like you said, he couldn't capitalize on the mistakes that Ryan made because he couldn't see the left hand. And Ryan is super talented, but not disciplined or skilled like that. But
yeah.
he did everything wrong, and he couldn't. And every time he touched Devin,
Devin,
he
yeah,
hurt him. And then I'm hearing, well, the ref stopped it for this, and I was like, yeah, he did once or twice. I said, but what about the times that he did rock fucking Devin, and then just Devin threw a jab back at him and was with queer legs, like what I mean, was on Queer Street, and then he just showed up and went in the corner and stopped punching. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I've
I
never
know.
seen that. Yo, I seen it was like a super skilled, disciplined fighter with zero talent. Like that's what tonight looked like, right? Versus super talented, no skilled, no disciplined motherfucker that never boxed before in his life. And I'm
Yeah,
like, that's what we were watching. I said, it's like watching two bums fighting, like not literally like boxing bums. I'm not calling them bums. I mean like two bums fighting. Like a guy who could punch hard but never fought before,
yeah.
and a guy who's fought but can't
Had a bunch of power.
nothing with it. You know what I mean? He ain't got no
Yeah,
power, but he got some skills and shit. And that shit was ridiculous. And then
it
with
was weird. It was, yeah.
it was crazy, man.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to describe, right? Because usually usually when you do a pick, right, you go with your boxing brain. You
Right.
know, my boxing brain fucking like
Yeah, yeah,
can't
malfunction,
comprehend
right?
what he's law. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah. Yo, me and my wife, avid boxing fan, been watching boxing with me. You know what I mean? She's thinks some, in her own little view, but at the same time, she takes a lot what I'm saying. She's like, what the fuck is going on? And I was
I
like,
know, right?
no clue. I was like, yo,
Like,
this is a roller coaster. I had
yeah,
fun though. It was definitely
Devin,
entertaining.
Devin lack of movement, his lack of upper body movement, right? His defense was all over the place. Anytime Garcia just threw a hook, he was right there. And did you see him digging at the ribs? He was hitting as hard as he could, and it's like Ryan was just looking at him, going, "Is that all you have?"
Right,
You
right.
know what I mean? Like,
Right,
uh,
but
uh,
at the same time, why shell up if you're saying that? And then here's another thing, right? Check this shit out. This is why I'm saying he couldn't see it coming, is because when Ryan let loose and let like a 16 punch combination go on him, he
yeah,
didn't do nothing to Devin. Devin laughed at him, and I'm like, yo, he's not kidding. None of that shit phased him.
yeah.
But then he would just catch him with like a one-off, boom, rocking. Touch him with the left hook,
It
boom,
was so weird.
rocking.
Yeah,
Tuck him with the right hand, boom, rocking. And then he would throw a jab back, like, and be falling all over the ring. and this motherfucker run in the corner and shell up, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like, is this happening? Like, and then I'm like, yo, wait a minute, this is awful. The Twitter guy just beat up the former undisputed champion. It's not even for a belt. So now the casuals are going to be on a fucking super high. And then I'm like, yo, and then they're going to say Tank Davis is the face of boxing. Like,
I know.
the guy that wouldn't get in with Devin, oh, he might now.
Yeah.
But wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? And I said, this is the exact same thing as when, you know, you got David Benavidez gets in with Andre. Two guys that both want Canelo, right? Fucking David Benavidez cleans him, right? Cleans Andre. You know, I was Andre. You know, I pushed Andre because you don't go through the rankings and then just keep not getting the big fights. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't get that. The unifications and nothing like that. I'm like, what the fuck? And I know he made mistakes in what he was doing. But yo, fucking David Benavidez cleans him. And I'm like, he cleaned him. Then it's like, yeah, he's a bum, he's exposed. I'm like, wait a minute. And he don't deserve a shot with fucking Canelo. And I'm like, wait a minute. Canelo didn't beat him. And now Canelo won't even fight the winner.
Yeah, here my
like,
thing, right? Going into that fight, I thought Benavidez would beat Andre, right? No?
Right.
So, you know, I wasn't surprised by the outcome.
Right. Neither was I. But he got in the ring with him.
Yeah. Right. But before that, there, right? Andrade's highest ranked opponent was Liam Williams in his career. So, you know, swings roundabouts and all that.
I just don't care for that though. I mean, what I don't care about boxing and a lot of fans is that if a guy's saying, you know, and now he's saying the same thing about Benavidez. He don't deserve the shot. I can fight whoever I want. When a champion says it, and I'm not, I get the whole politics of the shit when it comes to like Benavidez having a 3-fight contract.
Yeah.
Not dealing with that, not fighting Morrell, not being on contract with to fight you know, Canelo. I understand that. Right, I understand that too. And so I'm like, the people were like, oh, yo, he's doing this. And I'm like, nah, he's part of the problem as well. But the issue that I have is the fans that say, well, he don't have to. And then I go, well, nah, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, when a guy gets to that level, I get it. You get to that level, you could be the A side, what have you. That just means you get the ring size, the gloves, a weight. You know what I mean? We'll just put in this weight thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You want to cook?
Yeah, I only say that once when there's one guy on a panel with me. I only say he doesn't have to. Canelo, and that's Mirage, who's the biggest David Benavidez fan.
Right. I bombed the shit out of him. Yo, I bombed the shit out of him too. I did the same thing on B&B. You know what I called him? He was like, I was like, yo, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, well, I got to get off and jerk off or some shit. And I was like, to Benavidez? He was like, maybe. And I was like, Benavidez. I was like, well, then go Benavidez then.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's always ever.
But he does make sense sometimes. But yeah, he goes far left. But the thing about it is though, but did I have a problem with that shit is when motherfuckers say, when a fighter says you got a contender, a number one contender, and what have you, and they go, well, I don't have to fight him. And then if you can't read in between the lines when he's like, you know, oh, Mayweather will never come back, you know, fuck Mayweather. And now Mayweather's like, well, he don't have to fight him. And he was like, Mayweather said it and he knows. Now he knows.
Yeah.
When you hated this motherfucker your whole career, now because he agrees with some shit, now you putting that motherfucker, well, Mayweather knows and he knows boxing better than anybody. he's the best ever. And it's like, yo,
Yeah, I know.
you guys fight anything. You guys eat anything. But
Yeah.
but all I'm saying is when you're a champion and you're holding a belt, I don't care if you're A side or B side, whatever, you could
Yeah.
pick the ring, you could pick the gloves, you could pick this, you can say, okay, this is the amount of money you're getting, depending on if it's you gotta be somewhat fair. But when a motherfucker says you don't deserve to fight, then I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, you can't call yourself a champion
Yeah. And
because
yeah,
a
I
champion
get that.
defends his fucking championship. And
Well,
if
that's the
people ever
problem
will
nowadays,
die,
right?
man,
That's the problem nowadays, right? Champions don't defend titles.
right. And that's what I have a problem with, man.
Yeah.
When a guy don't do that, it like Lomachenko, great fighter, fantastic fighter. I was pushing Lomachenko. If you go through my, you could go through all the shit all the videos I dropped.
Yep.
Follow Lomachenko. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, he's fighting Linares. He's doing this. He's doing that. Yo, this dude's a monster. Boom. Oh, why can't when Spence was just coming up, why can't he get a fucking shot? Why can't he get a unification or a shot with like Keith Thurman? Why can't Thurman fight Mayweather? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm like, I would always push for these guys. But then when they would get to a certain point, what do you see? Thurman, I don't need to fight him. He's bitching about Mayweather not fighting him, but now when he reaches that pinnacle, he don't need to fight Spence. Spence bitching that Thurman won't fight him, then Bud comes in, I don't need to fight him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, that's when they lose me.
Yeah.
The
And now you
moment
got
they put, that's all it is.
now you got Butch Ennis on the other thing with Crawford.
Right. But that
Right.
might happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. That might happen, but I'm saying right now that's the fight at 147 probably.
Right.
So
But I
yeah.
knew that though prior though. Check it out, Brian. I said that I think it was like a year and a half ago, right before the fight between Spence and Bud. I was like, anybody at 147 that's competing, right? Top notch guys. I said, this is the perfect opportunity to either dominate 147 or go for Earl and Bud.
Yeah.
But you got to meet them at 154 and it's leave 147, establish yourself at 154. Think about it. I want you to think about this shit. Like even politically, talent, legacy, whatever, however you break it down, I'm like, yo, I should have been a promoter because I would have got
Yeah.
these guys to fight. Because I would immediately been like, oh, they're gonna fight. There's probably gonna be a rematch clause. So they're gonna be locked up for a year, year and a half. Whether I'm Stanionis, Ortiz prior to him being sick, or Boots,
Yeah.
I either dominate 147 and the first person I go after is either one of those names or Keith Thurman.
Yeah.
Take a hit financially, just get in the ring with him. And if I was Keith Thurman, I would have did the same thing. I would have immediately jumped on them young motherfuckers. Why? Because they're only going to get better. You want to get them when they're green. And if you want a big shot with those guys, or with Spence, or this is prior,
Yeah.
with Spence or Bud, you immediately go to 154. What's going to happen when you go to 154? Bud and Earl ain't there yet, right? 147 is on lock. Who's the champion? Jermell Charlo, right? You see
Yeah.
the rankings. If you're Boots, Stanionis, right? Just pay attention. Boots, Stanionis, Keith Thurman, or Ortiz. You jump to 154. What do you think the sanctioning body is going to do when you get there? Because 154 is not lit like that. They're immediately going to shoot you up the rankings because
Yep.
they're going to want that. The sanctioning body going to want a bigger percentage, and you're a big. You got something behind your name. 154, other than the Jermell at that point was what?
Yeah.
Was hot potato. So, oh well, this is the hottest guy at the time, but you bring up a guy with a big name from 147, what you're
Yeah.
gonna have is they're gonna shoot you up the rankings.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to beat them dudes up there, or you're going to be waiting for a title shot, or you're either going to get a title shot or have a title when they move up to 154. And then they got to have to come to you.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing you see, right? You got Castana, who he fought twice, right?
Yep.
And then before that, there you had Rosario, right? So the opportunity was there, and honestly, right, if I believe the one guy who was going to do that before his problems would have been Virgil.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like before his problems, right?
Right.
I think he would have had a fight at 147 a year or two back before all that thing happened with his muscles.
Right.
Know, and then he would have moved up to 154, and he probably would have been up waiting for him. Waiting for those guys.
Him, and he wouldn't have had to continue to deal with that issue when he first had the issue.
Yeah.
Like that would have worked out perfect for him because he would have been fighting better. He would have been fighting at a healthier weight, and I said that too. So I'm like, yo, like it's just crazy to me how motherfuckers is thinking, and they're like, well, Bud's ducking boots as soon as he beat Spence, and I'm like, yo, like you can say that. I guess you could kind of say that, but you can't say that because when he got the title from Bud was still under contract in a rematch to fight Spence.
Yeah, that's true.
He didn't have a choice. Otherwise, he loses a shit ton of money by breaching the contract. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, you guys don't fucking understand what the fuck is going on here. But then he's like, nah, I just beat Spence. He's like, yo, I'm ready to move up. I want Charlo. Then Charlo's like, well, I'm fighting Canelo. Then he's like, fuck it, I'll fight Canelo too. I'll fight you. No, can't fight you. Okay, I'll fight Canelo, which I think was quite a jump. Like, I wasn't a fan of that move, but
me neither.
I could see why he did it, but it's like, nah, man, no.
Yeah. Moving up 2 weight classes is hard enough. Moving up 3 against pound for pound, number 1 at 168.
Right. It's what I mean? And then you put that motherfucker in a lose situation.
Yeah.
Because if I lose, I lose. If I win, I lose. If it's a draw, I lose.
Yeah.
And
I wasn't a fan of the Charlo moving up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo either. I didn't like that, Never mind 3 weight classes. Weight classes are there for they're there for a reason.
The crazy shit about it though, Brian, then they tried to block. So he's like, all right, well, fuck it. I'll go for Zoo.
Yeah.
And then they blocked that shit. Then he's like, all right, well, fuck it. I'll fight this guy. And then they tried to block that, but they still made it happen. But now that Boots is with the Zone and the Zone is with Sheik, well,
not
might happen. Now it might happen at 154 or 147.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, because
I got to give it to Sheik.
Yeah,
he's putting on the fights. Tonight was. I still don't know how to describe it. Can I just give McComb a shout out? I thought he boxed well. I thought he got robbed.
Yeah, he got robbed.
Sean
Everybody
McComb
thinks he got robbed.
Yeah.
And you know what? They tried to compare him with certain fighters, and I'm like, nah. This dude's a 6 foot, 140-pound postal. This dude is coordinated. He's got a good jab. He's got good speed. I was like, but this dude's a southpaw. So I'm not really knocking his opponent for not beating him. Anybody at 140 would have a fucking problem with this dude.
Yeah.
This dude's a fucking problem.
Right. I've heard a lot of things about him, right, over the last few years. I've never seen him fight. That was the first time I've seen him fight. And I got to admit, I was impressed,
Yeah. He could fight, man. He could fight. And he didn't get tired all night. He kept up, and then punch stats were bullshit.
I know, right?
Shout out. I always call him the Snake. I always forget his name, but shout out to Sergio Mora, who was like, yeah, but look at the punch stats. He was like, I don't pay attention to that. That ain't real. I got eyes I can see. Because
that's crazy.
Yeah, because the punch stats be
hardcore
shit. Yeah, the CompuBox punch stats be hot bullshit for the promotion to bump up a fucking fighter. So nobody gives a fuck about that. I see a motherfucker land a punch, he land a punch. And then you'll see a motherfucker not land a punch, and they'll be like, oh, look at how many punches he landed. It's like,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up, man. I mean, and keep in mind, it's coming from Mannix, who sold out years ago. He knows boxing. That motherfucker sold out, man. And then he had Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia tied. That
I
tells you
know.
how much that tells you how much of a fucking company guy he is.
I didn't score it. All I knew, right? I didn't score that fight. I think I had it the same as the last judge, you know. I had it so wide for Devin, or for Ryan. I mean,
Right.
right?
Even Devin Haney fans didn't score it that way.
Yeah, Devin just right. I picked Devin to win prior. I
Me
thought he
too.
would have boxed him.
I thought, yep, it won by unanimous decision or by decision.
You know, so
I did too.
that's what I thought would happen. I was on Black and Brown this morning. I talked a lot of shit. I went back on tonight and I said, "Fuck, I got that wrong."
Yeah, I was just
You
shouting
know?
him out. I didn't even know he went live. I must have went live. I didn't get a notification that he went live. Or I would have just hopped on and gave him props. I hopped on or I jumped. I think Tony had one, and then Rosclot had one, and I love talking to Rosclot, so I was like, yo, I reached out to him. It's like, yo, what up, fellas? Whatever. And listen to his shit for a little while, but I had to cook, so I had to hop on my shit and get my shit going. I haven't been on live for a minute, so I was like, I'm gonna get on live because I usually don't keep my lives up, man. I just keep my vids up.
Yeah,
I can sometimes get on live and talk about boxing, but I talk about shit that I'm just gonna be honest. A lot of people don't want to talk about the shit that I talk about. You know?
fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, but here's the thing, right? I love boxing, blah blah blah. Right? I think I'm a student of the game, right? When it comes to what happens, and my brain just can't compute what happened, right? That was weird. It was like you said, right? It was like watching a technical boxer that forgot, that had no power against a guy that lacked attacking ability but just had power and speed, right? And wrong placement and footwork and all that there.
Yeah.
But I said it in Black and Browns. I think the first time he got clipped, I don't think he recovered from that purely, right? It was the first round,
Could be
I don't
true,
think
man.
I don't think he recovered. I'm talking about Devin,
Right.
and he was on. There was times he was just on legs. You go. You feel like a dusting wind could blow him over. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's what I felt like.
And then Ryan run to the corner.
Yeah.
And shut up. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he did it like 10 times. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then Tony came out and was like, yeah, and the ref stopped them from doing it. And I was like, yeah, he did. I agree with that. I said, but what about the other fucking 8 times he rocked Devin?
Yeah.
He just ran in the corner and just hid. And I was like, what the fuck is going on, man?
Right when he was banging away at the ribs, Devin Haney. You know what that reminded me? Rocky IV, right? When the first couple of rounds when he was down and Rocky was just banging away at the ribs. And the Russian bows at him.
Yeah.
That reminded me,
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Right, Devin has no power, right? I've been calling him pillow fisted for years, right? And I've been getting thing about that, right? About that, right? He moved up to 140. He looked great against Regis Progress. I said, okay, maybe it was the weight hindering them. So I give him a pass coming into this fight. I didn't even mention that, right? I said, okay, he's got a little bit of power, not knockout power, but maybe some respectable power, right?
Respectable power, right?
So I took that out of account, right? Mm-hmm. But anybody ever listened to me on any 135 fight or Devin Haney over the last number of years, I've been saying this cat's had no power. This is the one fight I did not say that, and it came out to be fucking true.
I'll tell you what's crazy about it, man. is that, like you said, I didn't call that shit either. I didn't see it going that way. And the
Yeah,
other issue was I thought there's a good chance that Devin Haney was going to look like a fucking phenomenal power puncher in the fight.
yeah,
Because the day before the weigh-in, I was like, yo, Ryan looks big as fuck.
yeah,
I was like, yo, he don't look like he's trying, like he is even attempting to make weight.
yeah.
And then I'm
No, he
like,
doesn't. He doesn't.
and then I'm like, even to make 143, I'm like, yo, then to make the bet, and I'm like, this dude's crazy, right? And then I'm
Yeah,
like, because if he loses that weight and then even gains the weight back on fight night, usually the fluid to your brain don't catch up.
yeah,
So if Devin hits him with a clean shot, I said, this is just awful for him. He's just making all the wrong moves here. And
yeah.
I was like, so I'm thinking, yeah. Then he comes out, and I was like, I hope he don't just come out throwing his left hook, because then it's like,
Yeah, man, left hook.
yeah, it just comes out
First
and
point
just
he threw
swinging
was
the
left
left
hook.
hook. For,
First point
kind of,
here. He came out. He came out right. I was on the stream with Tony Boswell and Electrojad and all that there, right? You know, we were on a Discord thing together, and I said, first punch, left hook.
right. That's it. And that's exactly what I said to my wife. I was like, man, I hope you don't come out throwing a left hook. And she was like, what? Why? And she was like, ain't that his best punch? I said, yeah, but then he gets the timing down. This motherfucker ain't gonna have no energy because he ain't make weight. He gonna put his whole game plan out in the first fucking round. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? This
yeah,
dude, and not that I didn't want Devin to win or I wanted Ryan to win. You know what I'm saying? It was just that I wanted an interesting fight. Well, was I in for a fucking treat? This motherfucker came out cool as a fan, threw 2 jabs, sat back, wasn't twitchy or nothing, threw a couple feints, and I seen the way that fucking Ryan react. I mean, not Ryan, but Devin
Devin.
reacted, and I was
Yeah.
like, yo, before he even landed the left hook, I was like, yo, Ryan might stop Devin. And my
Yeah,
girl laughed,
yeah.
and then he hit him
He's
with the
afraid of
left
that.
hook.
He's
Yo,
afraid
he
of it.
hit him with the left hook. As soon as he hit him with the left hook, that motherfucker rocked. I was like, oh shit. She was like, holy shit. I was like, what the fuck? And then I'm
Yeah.
like, then the next round, he just
It was crazy.
threw everything out the window. Devin, I definitely gave Devin the second round because
Yeah,
it looked like, okay, a one-off. Devin's about to take over, right? And
yeah,
then, you watched it, you experienced it like me. I was like, the whole fight, I was just blown away by what the fuck I was watching because it was nothing that I expected. And
yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't have called that shit in a million years.
A thing like Devin was emotional, right? Like, I think he wanted to go in there, stand toe to toe, and prove a point, and it was like wrong game plan, wrong
Right.
fucking game.
Yo,
You know what I mean? Like,
if Ryan fought the same way he fought in the first round, the rest of the fight,
yeah.
I don't know if that fight would have went past the fifth round.
It's like he was conserving his energy for the later rounds.
Because of the weight,
Yeah,
maybe that's what it was. But I'm just like, but he had that motherfucker out on his feet, and he didn't have to just. And I get it, motherfuckers like, oh, go for the gusto. I get it. You could be patient, but you could still be aggressive and patient. And
yeah.
I'm like, where's this dude's skill set? Like, why isn't he like taking
Right.
the body and opening this up and then doing this? And then with Devin, I wouldn't say that he was doing shit wrong. He just couldn't see the punches.
Yeah. Right. I said to Tony, right, Tony Boswell.
Mhm.
I said to him, it seems to me like, I said, why is Devin Haney having problem with Ryan Garcia's style? Right? because it was so unconventional, right? Like, I would say the word predictable, but at the same time unconventional. It was weird. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yeah, like it's crazy, right? Moving up 2 weight classes to fight Fundora. I think that's
Come
a little
on,
bit too much.
that's what I mean though. The dude's really nuts. He's not crazy like a fox. The motherfucker's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be real.
Yeah, yeah.
We just seen the motherfucker didn't finish him. He could have knocked him out in the 12th round. He's sticking his tongue out at him and he's dancing and shuffling. And I'm like, this dude is full retard right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yo, I'm like, what the fuck? Every time he had an opportunity to get Devin out of there, he didn't. And I'm just like, do you know what that would have put this motherfucker if he just came in and cleaned this dude out? You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be the best thing that I want, but it's not about me.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, oh, man.
I could understand it. You know the Sean McCone fight, right?
Yeah.
Right? I could understand it was a performance like that to beat Devin. Right?
Yeah.
The length, the ability, the footwork, all the movement, right? Making Devin miss, countering him, keeping it long range, because I thought, I forget his name, Badoza, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought he had problem with McComb's length all night long.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean?
And his right hook.
Yeah, right hook, but it was the length of the body into the half step back. It was the half step. Yeah, it was the half step backs he was doing, right? And just, it was the southpaw. I could understand if it was something like that beat, right? I don't understand how Devin Haney could not figure out what Ryan Garcia was doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right. And then when Ryan did let his hands go, it did nothing to Devin.
I know, right?
Like Devin wasn't when he let that long ass combination go against fucking Devin, and he landed I say half of the punches, right? Devin looked at him and started laughing and was dead ass serious. Like he wasn't, people fake shit. He wasn't hurt at all.
Yeah, I know.
But then when he do the one-off shit, Devin was just like he didn't know.
He was
see it. He couldn't handle it. But when this motherfucker land whenever Ryan did something right, it didn't work. When he do it wrong, it went like you said. That shit went. It couldn't have went better for him.
I know.
Crazy.
It was weird. All box
was a fucking anomaly of fucking.
Yeah.
It was a roller coaster ride for me as a fight fan because I've never seen anything like that in my
life. Yeah.
Well, the one thing I can say though, I was completely entertained. So shout out to them for putting it on. Thank you, Devin, for going the whole 12. Thank you, Ryan, for shelling up and stretching it because, man, that was 12 rounds of
comedy gold.
Yeah.
Comedy.
Fucking comedy material. You know what I'm saying? I was like, shit. It was close to my life, man. I was telling my wife that shit. I was like, yo, some shit happened to me, and I was like, yo, I should have been a stand-up comedian. She was like, wow. I was like, you know how much material I got? We just left the situation. I was like, yo, we watched this fight. Like, this is hilarious. You should have heard the jokes we were cracking the whole fight. We had so much fucking fun watching that fight. So, thank you, boxing. That was the first. That was
Could I say though, great card. That's one of the best. That's one of the best card I've seen in years when it comes to entertainment and actually good fights and
I mean, even down to the 100-pound guys. That was a great fight.
Yeah,
I thought that Scrappy got in there, and you know what? We would have never seen that if Scrappy didn't take that fight. He didn't have to. And dude,
Yeah.
Ramirez beat the shit. Like I thought Ramirez won that fight clearly,
Yes.
but it was a competitive fight, and you could see the scrap he was wearing later on. It was a
Yeah.
good fight, but
Jimenez
that
was
was a great fight. Well,
Jimenez just outworked them, right? It was
yeah,
just
yep,
pure work rate coming
work rate,
forward,
yep,
throwing.
great fight, man,
When he
great
was
fight,
throwing 1 or 2 punches, Jimenez was throwing 5, 6, 7
yep.
punches.
And he could have folded a couple times in that fight, and he didn't.
Yeah. You know what? I
Scrappy
got to give
folded.
Scrappy. I give Scrappy a lot of credit. You know.
Yep. And that goes for Devin as well. But you know what though? You know where we're not gonna see a rematch between Beck and that kid from France. We'll never see a rematch. You know why?
Yeah.
Neither one of them motherfuckers will fight each other again. Too
Yeah.
dangerous. You could tell both of them motherfuckers was fighting for their life in there. And
Yeah.
then one being a southpaw and one being a righty, and they're both being explosive. You could see
Headbutt
Beck.
too.
You
Yeah.
could see Beck was respecting him, and he respected Beck too. Real quick, because low key, that French kid was faster than Beck and quicker than Beck, but Beck was a little more determined, and he was waiting for Beck to come in and catch him.
Yeah.
But they were both weary as fuck. And
The headbutt.
on top of that, they kept fucking headbutting each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll never rematch because that'll be their excuses, the headbutts, because they were both low key scared of each other. Even though they were letting the punches go.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I just want to give a shout out to Charles Conwell, who I thought put on a virtuoso. I thought he was brilliant. The young Olympian. Right.
Was that the first fight? I might have missed that.
Yeah. Well, he's 18-0, 13 knockout. He stopped your guy. I forget his name, right? Victoria. I think his name, or Victoria. I don't know how his name is pronounced, but right. He stopped him in the 5th or 6th round, right? I forget which round it was, but it was a brilliant performance, right? And I hope he continues the way he's going on, because I thought it was, I thought he boxed very well. So I did. He looked quick. He looked sharp. His punch placement was good. But at the same time, the guy he was fighting was no shape. So I'm not going to put all my thing on that. All my ball in one basket. But what he did do was he took care of a guy he was supposed to take care of. You know what I mean?
He handled his business.
Yeah, because I said that last week about what's his name, Gerald Anderson.
Yeah,
Gerald Anderson was given an opportunity on Top Rank, right? On Top Rank, on not Top on ESPN, Top Rank as the main event card. To take care of a guy he was clearly better than, and he decided to go for a sparring match. He sparred him in there, right? He took care of him easily, but he could have gotten him out of there. I 100% believe, if he tried, right? He chose not to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you could say that about a lot of fights.
Yeah.
You could take a motherfucker might be able to get a dude out of there and was just like, I'll just take the dub, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Can I say this? Can I say this though, right? If you have right, if you're given a main event, right, at a top ranked card, at the zone card, whatever, right, and you're clearly better than the guy, and you can get him out of there, right? Make an impression.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You want that money.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it gives you it'll shoot you up through the rankings a little faster.
Yeah.
People like knockouts. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that hard, right? But I complained about that last week too, right? And that's what I'm saying about the Conwell guy, right? He beat the opponent he was supposed to beat, and he made it look easy.
So Brian,
yeah.
So Brian, with that said, I gotta ask you a question as a
go ahead
boxing fan yourself. Okay, now you know, everyone's talking about Tyson Fury and Usyk. You know, that's
Mm-hmm.
a hell of a fight. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I got my opinion on it. We can talk about that. But the bigger fight to me is that fucking Better Biev and Bivol fight. Who you
Yep.
got? Who
Yep.
you got? Who you got?
I don't know. Right.
Yeah,
I've said this before. You,
I can take that though. That's
here,
fine.
here's the thing. It's the most 50-50 fight I could choose right now. I'm
Wouldn't
slightly,
that wouldn't
yeah,
that make it the best fight out there?
100%. And I
Mhm.
tell you, I've said this in other panels, right? You got one guy, the best at controlling space and
Yep.
controlling his range and controlling his distance and Bivol. And you got another guy, the best in boxing at taking away space in
Right. Right.
Beterbiev.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like it's such an intriguing fight.
Yep.
Um,
And
you
they
know,
never seen each other anything like each other either
yeah,
in the ring.
uh,
They never
uh,
faced anything like each other. Like
it's
everyone
going to
thinks
be,
they did. Like the power punchers are gonna say, "Oh, the people who love the power punchers are gonna say, Better Beard is just gonna walk through that guy. He's
yeah,
gonna go to the body." I'm like, he's got to get to the body.
yep,
You know what I mean? And he's got to pay for real estate, and he don't have. He's got a good chin, but he don't have the best one.
yeah,
And I'm like, and how good is Bibble gonna respond when he's pressed?
yeah. That's the whole point, right?
Right. And
Right.
then it's who you got a guy who can cut off the ring
Yeah,
much
yeah,
better than a guy like Canelo. You know, I'm like a guy that can cut off the ring and a guy that don't need to load up on shots. He could just let him go from the hip
yeah.
and they got full
You,
effect.
you saw his last fight, right? You saw Beterbiev's last fight. He wasn't loading up on shots, right? He was putting short, sharp shots together, and then he'd go hard, and then he'd go short, sharp shots again.
Yeah, but he
You know,
always
right?
does that. Yeah.
Quick, pop, 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 then power,
Yeah.
power, power, and then pop, 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 pop. You know what I mean? Like, right?
But I just don't see Bibble just laying up on the rope, shelled up like that for long
No,
periods of time.
no. Bivol is going to be on his toes. He's going to be moving.
Right.
He's going to be
What's
trying to
crazy,
utilize his jab. And
but
at
what
times too,
makes
he's
it
going to try to push Beterbiev on the back foot, right? And Beterbiev is going to try to catch him on the way in, slipping, right?
yep,
Trying to push him back up against the ropes, right?
yep,
Get it, it's an intriguing matchup, right?
it
For
is.
me, and I'm slightly leaning toward Beterbiev.
Are
But
you?
if you told me Bivol, right, I'm
Yeah.
not mad at, you know what I mean? Like this is a
Right.
fight
That's
where,
that. I'm complete opposite and complete the same. I'm leaning towards Bibble, but
yeah,
if you told me better beef, I'm not gonna be mad at you.
yeah,
Because I mean, how do you argue with that? You
I
know what I
know,
mean? That's
yeah,
why I like the fight so much.
yeah,
And that's why I think like and everyone's talking about every other fight. And I'm like, damn, the real boxing fans gonna be all over that shit. You know what I mean? They're gonna be all over that shit. I remember the motherfuckers was laughing at me, man. Just flat out
I know.
laughing at me. I would be like, "Big boy this," and they'd be like, "Who? Bavoli? Who the fuck is that guy? I don't even know who that guy is."
Yeah, I
And
was
I,
I was telling people with the Canelo fight, I was saying, Canelo doesn't have the style, blah blah. Plus, he's moving up to 175. It's too much.
and he don't like
Right?
movers anyway, and he got to pay for real estate.
Yeah,
Right?
but yeah,
Distance,
I
controlling
was just
distance.
telling people, I was telling casuals, Bivol be like we had this remember the D stream, for
Yeah.
Gonzalo's kid.
Hmm.
Like we were having this conversation 2 years before the fight ever happened. You know what I mean?
Right. I did too. I
Yeah.
matter of fact, I had that conversation on IBFP stream
Okay. Yeah.
before IBFP was full Canelo, and he
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, Bivol could
You
give
know,
him some
but
problems." Before he went full, you know, oh, this is how I get super chats.
yeah,
You
right.
know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
was it? I remember having that combo, and I think Witch Call had the conversation with him too as well. He had told me he was having a conversation with him
Well, tell you the truth, right? You see every fight prior to that, right? I've always picked Canelo to win, right? Prior to that fight. During that fight, right? I felt like with so many Mexican supporters online,
Yeah.
Canelo supporters, you're biased, all this white, all this boat, you know what I mean? Like, right? I said, how the white, I picked him to be King of Plant. I picked him to be Billy Joe Saunders. I picked him to beat Yildirim. You know what I mean? All this, right? But
Well, you can't get
partly I was
points.
white
Wait,
biased.
hold on. You can't get points for picking him to beat Yildirim.
I know, but I'm just using that as an example, right?
I got you.
But suddenly it was white bias because I was picking Bivol to be Canelo.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. A couple of us bet on it too. Me and D, Charles D, we both bet on that shit. And I should have followed his lead because I bet it straight. I won like I think 1900 something like that. I won more than that for that fight. But anyway, he won way more than I did. And he gave me the heads up. He was like, "There's a new thing. They talking about this and that." He gave me the heads up, and I didn't act on it. And I bet it straight. And he came out. My man Charles D. That's my man. I was like,
well, good on you, Charles, man.
Yeah, good on you, Charles, because he gave me the avenue, but I didn't walk it because I just, when I bet straight, and I bet safe, and I bet right. You know what I mean? But
I get you.
But this is my problem with boxing. I haven't experienced this yet. But if you bet on like the Irish kid tonight, and then you get a bad decision, I don't know how to deal with that. I don't know how I would deal with that.
Well, I only put 20. I only put $20 on him, but tell you the truth, I didn't think he was going to win. But
but if you put big bucks on that, like that's not cool, man. Like
I know
that's fucked up. It's one thing to bet on somebody and then you be wrong. But if you couldn't be more right and you lose, you know what I mean? Like I don't know how I deal with that. That would bother the fuck out of me. You're like, I don't know, man. I don't know how motherfuckers go through that shit. Because
crazy.
If you're wrong, you're wrong. Like if the dude even if it's close and I think the guy I thought won, that's one thing. But to get fucking just flat out robbed like that, where it's like, and nobody in the arena believes you, nobody, no boxing fan believes you. Even when the commentators that work for you are like, yeah, I don't know.
I know.
I'm like, yo, I gotta holler at the bookies. Like, don't let me bump into one of these judges.
I get you. Yeah.
That's
that's getting, it's just getting crazy at the point. It's come to the point where I stopped betting on boxing because of that.
Yeah. I understand that, man. That's what's pulling me away from this shit.
Yeah. I might put on a tenner here and there for the odd one, but come right. And when I was working a good job, I used to put on hundreds. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
I get it. Like some folks, they just bet a shit ton of small bets. So if you get that one off, it's like, and it's a bad decision. You're like, But me, I wait and go, yeah, the bookies ain't on to this one yet. And then I used to like, boom. But if Tio didn't beat Loma, I would have been pissed.
Yeah. Back in the early 2000s, I used to do security for buildings for construction sites.
Yeah.
And I was making good money, and I was putting on a lot of bets back then,
Yeah.
So, but now I just put on it, and I got robbed a few times. I'm like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, so I sometimes I bet with my brother. Maybe if there's a fight he's interested in, or put 20 quid
So
down. Just go
you
down
just
to the
look at
bookie,
it.
put on
You
20
just
quid.
look
You
at
know,
it.
tenner.
You look
You
at
know.
it like it's a game. It's
Yeah.
just sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
Man, I hope I never have to experience that. That
I
shit.
made a lot of money though, right?
Yeah.
I made a lot of money on Floyd Pacquiao. There was a lot of people wanted to bet Pacquiao with me.
Yeah.
Bet on Pacquiao.
Yeah.
I'm like, wrong style. I
Yeah.
just think Floyd, and I always fought that, right? No disrespect to Pacquiao, I just thought Floyd
Great
had the
fighter.
style to beat him, right?
Yeah.
And you know, there was a lot of people said, "All right, I'll bet with you." I made a lot of money on that fight,
No
and I
shit.
didn't even have to go to a bookie.
You're right. Right. Right.
You know, so
You
I think I
know,
made something like $6,000 or something like that there.
and that's the other thing I have an issue with. When you know the odds are so wide,
Yeah,
and then you're like, man, ain't it? Like, there's a couple times I almost bet big money on fights. Like, I almost bet on Ortiz Wilder won. And I
yeah,
was like, I was this close. And I'm glad I didn't. Not because Wilder won, because they gave that motherfucker an extra 2-3 minutes to recover from getting fucking rocked.
yes, they did.
I was like, yo, if I would have bet on that shit and seen that shit,
Yeah, you would have
man,
been.
yeah, I was like, oh man, that would have brought out
But I told there,
the
I was telling
unchristian
people
part
for
of
years Wilder was overrated.
Yeah, I had to, and I used to feel the same way about AJ, but I feel like AJ turned it up qu- quite a few notches, and
Yeah, for me, AJ, yeah,
he
for me,
wasn't afraid
AJ's
to go
always wanted to improve. You know.
right. And I wasn't mad at like Wilder because one thing I can say, whether he was training or he wasn't disciplined in certain things and he was skipping leg day or whatever it may be, that motherfucker wasn't like that motherfucker was came to fight. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Because he would get up, and even when he was going down, he was swinging. So I
like
mean, I didn't
even
hate him, but
yeah,
I just hate seeing wasted talent. Kind of
yeah,
like tonight,
yeah.
even even though we Ryan won, it's like,
There's something,
dude,
yeah, there's something in there,
they're
right?
talented, but man, if you just had a little discipline, if you know what I mean, if fucking Wilder did road work and moved his feet a little bit and could pump his jab and just drop that right hand at any given time, instead of just sitting there and literally running around the ring, literally burning
Yeah,
himself out. But if that motherfucker could move and was light on his feet, like these ain't really hard skills to develop. It's just you're so in love with what
there's
you
some
can do.
fundamentals behind his ability. You
Right.
know, his
You
natural
see,
ability. Because I say with Ryan, it's natural ability. What he has,
yeah,
right? It's natural.
obviously, yeah.
Yeah, right. You know.
If that motherfucker was moving around side to side all night and was like just pumping the jab out, obviously he's low key a lefty, but
Yeah,
he fights righty, kind of like De La Hoya did. Everybody
yeah,
knew De La Hoya was a southpaw. He just fought righty, so
yeah,
that power hand was his lead hand. That's what he is.
yeah.
So if
Could
he's just pumping the jab here and there, and then I've seen him hit him with the jab and then turn the jab over from like a hook. The best person I ever seen do that, honestly, was Klitschko.
yeah,
I think Bivol does it well, but Klitschko could turn his jab into a hook
last
mid
second.
shot.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
never seen that. I never seen a motherfucker that articulate with it, and his straight right hand was so crisp, so straight.
yeah,
Like when he would launch it and he did let it go, man, he did damage. And that left hook, he just pumped that jab out, and then he pumped that jab out and do it like move a different
yeah,
direction or come closer to him, and he just turned that shit over into a hook immediately and drop him. Boom. I was like, shit. You know who else had a great fucking who could do that shit as well and even did the 45s with the left was Oscar. That motherfucker's left hand was insane. I also believe that,
okay. Yeah. No, Oscar. Yeah, I've seen Oscar do that a few times. Yeah. I remember at one point he did it to Shane Mosley. I think it was. I'm not sure it was the first or second fight where he threw a half jab right in the last second. He turned it into a hook, and I'm like, phew.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like that's beautiful. You know, because you don't see that, right? You usually see, right, them throwing a jab, bringing the hand back, and then throwing a hook if they're doing it, you know. But he did it mid. That's difficult to do.
And that's what I'm trying to say is like I seen Ryan do that tonight. What he did was she threw the jab, but when he threw the jab, it was just to set up the hook. And when he threw the jab, it said boom, he turned it over. And one of the best combinations that nobody really uses, especially against southpaws, but you could use it against righties too. You could use it against orthodox guys too. It's the 1-2-1.
Yes.
Oh my God.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
No, not the 1-2-3. The 1-2-1. So when after you throw the right hand, they're expecting the hook, and you can jab them, and they usually run right into it, or the 2-1. They never expect the jab after the right hand, and it's usually successful. And when it's successful, it looks so good. Like, it works so well because no one's expecting you to jab after a right hand or jab after any punch. And guys that used to get away with that shit or would perform it would be like guys like Marquez. He would lead with a hook, throw 2 uppercuts, and finish with a jab.
Yes.
I admired the shit out of that dude. I was like, yo, this dude throws combinations that nobody would throw, but they flow. You don't even realize how well they flow until you throw them. Yeah.
I still to this day, right? I think Nacho Beristain is one of the best, has been one of the best boxing trainers in the last 30 to 40 years. I don't think he gets enough shine.
Both Marquezes was badass, man.
Yeah. Ricardo
Ricardo was too, man. But I was a super Marquez fan, man. Him and probably one of my favorite Mexican fighters was Little Hands of Stone, Michael Carbajal.
Yes.
I love watching that dude fight. Yo, that little motherfucker punching, it just sound like all you'd hear is whenever he landed a shot, like don't. Yeah. Every time he would, and I'm like, he's a little guy. Every time that motherfucker would punch,
all you heard was the thud. Yeah,
you just hear the thud, whack, 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 and I'm like, yo, and he hit them guys in the body. They said that he used to, in sparring, as little as he was, they said that he was, the legend of motherfuckers. But they said he would take down like light heavyweights with them body shots. Yeah, I was like, that's why they called him Little Hands of Stone.
You know who reminds me of Marquez in modern day boxing? With his style and his straight up ability a little bit, right? And some people call this guy pound for pound, right? Little Inouye.
Inouye?
Yeah, he's got a bit. But the way he would throw straight punches.
Yeah.
Right, he's got a little bit of Marquez on him. I see. Right,
I think he's crispy though. He's crispy as fuck.
Yeah, he's very crispy. I love Inouye.
He's sharp.
Yeah. Here, you should go back and watch the commentary we did for the Inouye Fulton fight on my channel. We had LT on. LT was shouting. whole way through. That was funny as fuck.
Yeah, I like LT. I like LT. He's a funny
Yeah,
guy.
Mad Chad and
Yeah.
was on there. Mad Chad was working. He's like, "What's happening?"
Yeah,
He was right. He was,
I
yeah,
gotta start calling fights again, man. I was doing it for a little while, and then I had I'd get on sometimes with Jordan,
yeah,
Sporting Advantage. He used to do it too. I
yeah.
liked having him on calling him. UGC used to have him calling it for him, but I like commentating with him. But I enjoy commentating because that's literally what I do when I'm watching fights, and I always
I'm
beat
the
the
same.
commentators to that punch. Whenever I'm talking, I'm like, "Ah, man, good left hook," and they're like, "I think he landed the left hook." Oh, he didn't land it. I'm like, "He don't even know what the fuck he talking about." I seen him land that shit. He
Yeah,
or you just catch shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe I'll just start calling fights too. Maybe I'll just open
yeah.
up.
I'm the same as you. I like calling fights, right? Right. Um, my sister. I remember one time. This is years ago, right?
Yeah.
I right. It was a big boxing fight on. I forget who it was, right? And we were
What
there. We were
year? You
watching.
remember? You remember the year?
1999 or 2000. That tells you 24, 25 years ago, something like that, right? Um, right. And I remember I was sitting down. My sister was sitting in the sitting room with me and all that there, right? Had the TV on. I was watching the fight and I was calling it. And she goes, "You know, they can't hear you, right?" Right? And I was shouting at them, "Dude, they're fucking that." Right? I forget who it was. They can't hear you, right? You know, they can't hear you, right? She's like, "You're fucking crazy." She just got up and walked out of the room. So she did.
Damn. Hey, you know what? What happened to Unrivaled, man? You just don't get on YouTube no more?
Um, if we go behind stage, I'll tell you, but it's something I can't
Okay.
tell you on,
Okay, yeah, no problem. No problem. I just missed conversating with him, man. I enjoyed
yeah,
conversating with him.
yeah.
He was a
That's
really
my buddy
smart
right there.
guy. Yeah, I enjoyed talking with him, man.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was crazy because he remembered so much stuff about things, and
Oh,
and it was
his
always
brain, definitely.
when it came to boxing though, he was such a
Yeah,
he was such an articulate dude,
yeah,
about shit, and I respected him a lot about a lot of shit that he said, and I appreciated his input on a lot of things
yeah.
because I just respected him,
Well, I see the community now around the boxing scene, right?
uh,
And to when I first got on, right, and it's completely different now.
right,
I think there was more characters back then. Everybody was more individual back then. You
right,
know, I see people now they're bunched up in groups, and I don't know if it was always that way. And I just popped on, and maybe I popped into my own group and I didn't realize it or whatever, right? But
yeah,
I see people now, and it just feels like a different. It feels like all the smart people are leaving.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? Like all the intelligent people, and then
yeah,
um, you you're letting idiots run the asylum basically.
yeah,
No any offense to any good content creators out there,
right.
but
But the majority is like that, yeah. Talk
you
to
know,
Big Boy Boxing, yeah. He said, I get it though. Yeah, I
you know,
get it. Man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad Mark is doing good, man. Cause I enjoyed conversating with him, and I had a lot of fun with him, man. But yeah,
I'll say hi to Mark. No problem.
yeah,
For you
please
guys.
do, man. Yeah, tell him 1-2 Kids say hi, man. I really enjoyed talking to him, man. Mark
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
really good guy. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
and I enjoyed it. And you know what I like the most about Mark, on top of all of his boxing knowledge,
Comedian.
is nah, he appreciated shit.
Yes.
He appreciated knowledge, and he appreciated passion for the sport, and
Yeah.
it wasn't hard to tell. That's
Yeah.
why I could continue to talk to him, because all we would do was just feed off each other
Right.
in conversation.
I was never a historian, but he could tell I loved it. So
Yeah,
he sort of liked me from that point of view,
yeah,
And I told him I'm not a historian.
right. But there's a lot of people on here who got that type of name, and they don't really know shit about boxing.
Yeah. No,
But
that's true.
he himself, though, he did.
Oh man, he's one of the smartest people.
Or they're just flat out douchebags. I remember he got on I don't know, it was some big channel, but it was a random channel. Like, us in the YTBC didn't even know it existed, and I just came across it one day, and he must have just came across it, and he jumped on, and he just like destroyed this dude, right?
Yeah.
And then the dude was like, boom, cut him off and started lying, and just started saying all this bullshit. And he didn't know I was in the chat, and I was like, hey, and I called the dude out. I was like, yo, hey, whatever your name is, I forgot what his name was, Kevin or whatever the fuck. And I was like, hey, are you a part-time douche or a full-time douchebag? Because this dude just fucking.
Yep. You cut off one of the smartest people you ever had in your freaking panel.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
You know what I mean?
Right. He just schooled you on some shit, and then you just got pissed off because you was wrong. It's like me, myself, I don't get mad if I'm upset, or at least I come around to getting right. You know what I mean? Like me and this one dude, I didn't know I was wrong about a situation. It was the one clear debate that I know I lost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't know until later. I fact checked it and was like, "Fuck!" And then I think it was Naota. You know, me and I remember on Bias used to be on all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, not the new Unbiased, the motherfucker that actually knew boxing. But me and Unbiased would get into shit, and we were like 1-1-1. You know what I'm saying? We had a draw,
I know.
right? But we would get into it. But this dude, he got me. I had said that I think I said something along the lines that Canelo was fighting at 155, and I was like, yeah, this motherfucker was fighting for titles at 150. He's like, you can't, and I was like, but somehow this motherfucker did, and then he was like, no, that never happened. Once a kid, and I was like, the fuck it did.
Yeah,
and we were going back and forth, and then I found out that I was wrong, and then I was doing a live. Now this motherfucker wasn't even upset about the shit. You know what I mean? He just came back on my live and was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, yo, man, you were right. You know what I mean? I was like, you were right, man. My apologies. And he was like, oh, that ain't nothing. And I'm like, nah, that's something to me. Because I was really fighting you on that shit. And I was like, yo, and I was fucking dead wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's the difference between people. So that's why I appreciate motherfuckers that are really telling you shit, and they not doing it to downgrade you. They doing it to fucking inform you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they respect you enough that they like, yo, you might got this wrong.
Yeah. But that's why I went on Black and Brown's panel tonight, right? Because I said this morning.
Are they still cooking?
I don't know if they are or not. They probably are, right? But I said this morning, I said, Devin's going to box him, blah, 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 bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, and I went on, said, first thing I said, I'm wrong. I was wrong.
Yeah, no shit.
Fuck me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So
I gotta give B&B props, man, because I don't think I made a prediction on his channel or anything, but I did watch his shit last night. And that motherfucker, he was talking about shit that wasn't nobody else talking about. So
B&B's a good dude.
Yeah, he is. And whenever I go to his channel, that motherfucker like, all right, hold up, want your kids here. he gives me them props because I supported his channel when he first started, and before he started, when he was exposed, right, motherfuckers was trying to cut him off on my panel, and I was like, nah, let him cook.
Yeah, no, I get you, man.
And shout out to him because I respect him the same way
No,
I
he's a,
respect like the guys that I fuck with on UGC, man, because them dudes always represent me. So I'm like, yo,
yeah,
I always gonna represent motherfuckers that represent me. Matter of fact, you came up recently on Red's channel.
yeah.
Yeah, Red had brought it up. He was like, yeah, there was that one dude who said that he took himself out or whatever, or they said that he was dead and he wasn't. And he was like, yeah, remember you went off on him when he was talking
Quantum Rob.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
remember when I cooked the shit out of him, and then after I cooked them, fucking Santos cooked him.
Yeah.
Actual facts. We were like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is wrong with you?
Right.
You know what I mean?
A few days he and I had our argument. Apparently he died.
Yeah. How fucking convenient, right?
Right. What was the argument? I said Bud Crawford would beat Errol Spence Jr.
Yeah, and all you was doing was, and we was agreeing with you, and all you was doing was just making a fucking thing, and then he started getting all personal. He don't know you from jack shit. He started just talking shit, and I was like, yo, dude, fuck is wrong with you?
Do you want to know something? I don't think I would have entertained it if I wasn't drunk.
Dude, I don't think you did entertain it. You were way bigger than the situation. I wasn't. I just don't like motherfuckers like that. I hate motherfuckers that because I know you can handle yourself. That wasn't the case. But the fact, it bothered me that you were just ignoring it. And it bothered me that this motherfucker felt that
he wouldn't let it go. He just wouldn't let it go.
He was just gonna continue on, and he couldn't read the fucking room. And I'm like, yo, dude, we talking boxing. You talk about shit that you can't do. You probably can't even whoop this motherfucker. But you up here sitting here insulting him that has nothing to do with the conversation that he's bringing up. You can't touch that conversation because you're not there. And yet you're going to go at this way and that way. You're going to hit from every angle. And I was like, that's like, deep down, I'm like, that's coward shit. That's pussy shit. That's what a punk does. So I just was like, fuck this dude. I just started cooking the shit out of him. And then fucking Angel even went harder. He was like, shut the fuck up.
Here's the thing, right? Generally, I ignore troll. I seen him as a troll, right? So generally, I ignore trolls.
Right? Now, I get it, but I was new to that shit.
Yeah.
And all I knew, Brian, was you were cool. We had good conversation. It's a boxing conversation. And that's all it had to be. We didn't need to go into all that bullshit. And that dude just started running his mouth with his little gay ass glasses and shit. And I was like, the fuck do you think you are?
I'm like,
I didn't even go that. Like, I thought I was going hard. I didn't even go
what did I say to him, right? Because we were on Johnny Boy's channel a few weeks prior to that, right? And he was cool, right? His wife was there, right? The next day there was a big fight. I think it was Loma versus Teofimo, something like that, right? And it was cool. The conversation was good. His wife was on with him. She seemed very cool. You know what I mean? Like, down to earth.
It sounded cool, right?
Right? And it got to that. At one point, I said to him during the Red Glove Militant stream, right? I said to him, I'd rather talk to your wife.
Yeah.
Than you. You know what I mean? Like, but.
That's another dude, though, man. I mean, I can't fuck with that dude, man.
Who, Johnny Boy?
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
When he was going through all that horse shit and, all that shit was happening and shit. And I used to get on there. I thought, he had an opinion, whatever. Sometimes he would get off subject and talk about shit I was like not into, but I didn't take nothing from it. That's his channel, whatever.
Yeah.
But then he started talking about other shit. And I was like,
that's where he lost me.
Yeah, he loses me. And then he was talking about like doing whatever to himself and whatever. Which
Yeah.
I had an opinion, but I kept it to myself, and I was like, "Yo, man, why don't you just go to bed,
Yeah.
bro?" And then he just went off on me personally, like,
Yeah.
wow. And then I was like, "Yo, I got cooked this dude," and I
Yeah.
cooked him. And then ever since then, I ain't bring it up or nothing. But I was just I see him every once in a while, and he be trying to chit chat with me, and I'm like, you know,
Yeah, well, he's
I'll
in jail
tell
now.
him to fuck off. Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
cheers. Like I don't even give a fuck. Like,
No, I know
I
that.
hope he finds himself eventually, but and finds a good place and gets his shit together. But
No,
man, I can't deal with
yeah.
motherfuckers like that, man. I
For
just can't.
me, I was all right with him until he went off and Gonzalo's kid. I was like, that's enough.
That's horseshit, man.
You know what I mean? Like, so, and I talked to him. Well, I talked to him a few times after that. After that, it was amicable, but I didn't talk to him for about a year and a half after that. Right? And he came up, he apologized, blah blah blah, bullshit for everything he said. Right? So I just casually talked to him once in a while, but it was beyond that, nothing really, if you know what I mean. So, but I'm like, that's not me yet. I apologize to. It's Gonzalo, his son, all that there, right? But here, I told him, right, you could have a problem with Gonzalo, you can have a problem with me. Leave the kids out of it, leave the family out of it. Both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I heard about it later because at that point I wasn't really I ain't want to fuck with it.
Yeah.
Then all the racist shit started coming out. Like I was like, this dude toxic as fuck. But this dude just like mentally ill or he need help with some shit. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I ain't no psychiatrist. I can't be helping motherfuckers. So I was just like, I can't
I get
fuck with
that.
it. But he's still, but I know the type. You know what I mean?
I know.
They cool 1 minute and then they go this way, then they go that way. Then when they do this, so that's why I'm like, yeah, how you doing, whatever. And then
The thing is, he never. Here's the thing, right? He never said anything. He never said anything derogatory towards me. In all our conversations, all the people I've talked to, he said, he always said, I like Brian. He's a cool, he's a cool dude, all that there. He never said anything bad about me, right? So I took that as okay, but there was some things I disagreed with him on, you know what I mean? And I called him out.
Yeah, but I just disassociate myself from situations like that.
So
even certain, people I used to fuck with before this, not even on that level, that ain't even come close to that level. I was just like, yeah, I'm done fucking.
Yeah, no, I get that.
You know what I mean? And where I ain't got to sit there and knock them, I just move on. Like, all right, cool, yeah.
I'll tell you one, right? When I first got on YouTube, right, I popped on Ness Mendoza's channel, right?
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of guys there, right? And they tried to play the risk card on me, like try to make me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right, the whole thing. I'm like, whatever.
Yo, dude, I feel it all over the place. Like,
yeah,
like it goes both ways. I know the racist. Like there was certain folks that I fuck with that was racist this way, and I was like, I ain't fucking with you.
Yeah,
there was motherfuckers that was like racist towards me, low key, and I was like, I ain't fucking with you either. Then it's like, oh, motherfuckers is over here this racist this way, and I'm like, nah, I ain't fucking with you either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it got to that point where I was just like, damn.
Yeah.
And then on top of that,
got toxic.
It's beyond them even being racist because
that's just toxic.
Toxic motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like everything they every move they make is toxic. It's just like nah, man, I ain't fucking with that.
So that was the first and last time I was on that Mendoza's channel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, cool, I have no problem with it. Do you? But I'm like, there's a lot of people I don't, like I only go to a few channels now.
Yeah.
Blood Boxing's one, right?
Blood
Jedi.
Boxing. Yeah, I like Blood Boxing.
Jedi. Right. If Mark was on there, I'd still go to Mark's. You know what I mean? Like, if D Jefferson was here, I'd still go to D's.
Yeah.
But there's only a few channels I go to. When it comes to
he was
boxing, black and
he was
brown would be
he was a fun dude, man. We got into it a couple times, but
yeah,
he was a fun dude, and I
yeah.
thought
I like the
he was alright, but
yeah,
there was some things that we differed on. There was some moves he made where I wasn't too happy with. You know what I mean? He went at some people for I don't know why.
yeah,
But at the same time, I like D, man. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
yeah,
I ain't never go that far with D when it came like Johnny Boy. I'm like, yeah, man, you like really toxic, dude. Man. Like like, certain shit, man. I even tried to make shit right between folks on there because I liked the group that was together, but you can't make two motherfuckers
yeah. I
like
get
each
you.
other. So I was
I
just
get you.
like, I would make an attempt, but when I realized that it wasn't happening, I just let it go. I'm like, all right, well then, y'all just dislike each other, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, no.
Like,
I
make
I
you
get
change
I
you,
get you.
man. Gonna be man.
Some of it, yeah. Here, some of it's just phone nights, whatever. Right. A lot of it is crazy. People stand on opinions, and it's like, right, you have to think like me. If you don't think like me, f you, basically.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I'm like, it's just boxing, right? I get it right, I get it wrong. It's just boxing, right? I'm not gonna hold anyone, right? But leave the bullshit. If we're talking boxing, let's talk boxing. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
leave the
Right.
bullshit out of it.
Yo, everybody on my team is opinionated.
Yeah.
We disagree, and motherfuckers don't go nowhere.
Exactly.
We'll sit there and just annoy each other until we get over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not like that though. It's not
Yeah.
toxic. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like,
But
well, fuck that. I'm rolling with this, and it's like, nah, I'm rolling with that. And it's like, all right, cool.
yeah,
Well,
I get.
well, where the fuck
I
you gonna go? And I'm like,
yeah.
nowhere, motherfucker. I'm right here.
There's
I'm just gonna annoy you. And
there's some people
we'll do
online.
that to each other.
There's some people online though, right? I went into a boxing channel, and they did a poll, right? And this was for the Crawford Spence fight, right? And it was like 3,000 people voted on this poll, right? Guess what the majority of them voted? It was like 81% voted for Spence.
Really?
So I'm like, this is a Spence channel, right? These people are, right? And I tipped Crawford, right? And I put on the thing, right? I typed in a message, and I got a lot of hate mail for it, right? I said, Crawford's gonna completely outbox Errol Spence Jr.
Yeah.
Right? You should see my notifications bounce up.
Yeah, they gonna blow up.
That's crazy, right? That's how I text, right? Crawford,
up,
yeah, right? Crawford's gonna outbox Spence Jr.
Yeah, good luck
My
with
notifications
that.
went up like this was like 3 weeks before the fight, or a month.
Good luck
You know?
with that. Yeah. Good luck with that. Yeah, it ain't gonna, you know what I mean? When you surrounded in a thing, but you know what? It's fun to troll motherfuckers like that too, though. Where you just sit there and just start breaking the shit down, and they're like, and then they don't even argue with you; they just block you.
Yeah.
Because they don't want you to, and that's when you know you're right.
Yeah.
They ain't trying to make it a debate, because they can't hold a debate to you. And then if you know, the more they know you know about boxing, the less that they do it. Dude,
Yeah.
I was saying Terrence whips on him like years ago, man.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing.
Yeah, like years ago. I think it was like in, let's see, when was this? I was rolling with Crawford in, what's it say? What's the date on this? What's it going to tell me? 4 years ago.
Yeah. I've been rocking with parents for one of the first streams I did, right, went onto the Jedi's channel. And we were talking boxing. Mark Unrivaled was there. And I think, what's his name was there? What's his name? I forget his name, right? And we were talking, right? And the last question somebody, right, Jedi asked me before I left, he goes, "Who's your favorite fighter?" And I said, "Terrence Crawford." And that was 4 years ago. Right? Right? So, I said Terrence Crawford, right? So Mark was there. Oh, geez. I know his name. I just can't remember his name on the top of my head right now. I can hear his voice, and that way.
Give me some hints.
He's an older gentleman. He's from California. He talks with a very slow, monotone voice. I forget his name. Haplo.
Yeah. Haplo's with us all the time.
Yeah, Haplo, right?
Yeah,
Haplo was there too, right? And right before I left, right, because Jedi was shutting down the stream, he goes, "Who's your favorite fighter?" It was the first time I ever talked to Jedi, and I said Bud Crawford, right?
Yeah.
But I've been rocking with Bud Crawford for a very long time.
Yeah. I hear you.
You know?
I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah, same, man.
So,
yeah, one of my first fucking videos was that. I think my first video was, shit, I don't know. I think it was on Lomachenko, and then I would bomb on like, I don't know. It was I had a lot of fun, man. I had a lot of fun. Yeah, I had a lot of fun on YouTube, man.
I saw here. I've been rocking with Bud since he fought what's his name, Corey Sullivan or something like that. There's Somerville or something like that. I've been rocking with Bud for a long time. So, and that was like his first 5 to 10 fights.
Right.
In between 5 and 10, something like that. So
When he had braids, you got braids again,
Yeah, I've seen that.
You got braids again. That's crazy.
I
used to have so much fun with the videos, man, but now it's
hard work, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. It's like
I don't do videos like that due to copyright because I don't know what will get me copyrighted and what won't.
But it's like, who do you make them for now? Because everybody's the other direction. Like everybody on some different shit, man.
Yeah.
I think the last one I made was I did one a while ago when a New Wave beat
Fulton,
yeah. And then I took it down and then I redid it as a short. And I made it like a Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
I did it like a Mortal Kombat. So yeah, that was all right. But I mean, I haven't really done too. And then I did a Bibble and Better BF highlight video. And because I heard when it was announced, I had fun making that shit though.
For me, that's the fight I'm most excited for.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
Me too.
Right. Bam Bam Rodriguez versus Estrada. Also. Right.
Yeah. That's another big one.
That's a good fight.
That's
if Estrada comes correct, it's not going to be an easy fight for Bam. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm slightly picking Bam, but I think it's going to be a decision, and I think it's going to be a hard-fought fight.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so, I think that's going to be a fucking war, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
That's going to be a war, man.
Right, there's some good fights coming up.
Here, I'll show you one of them. Check it out. I don't know if you can see it. I pull. Let me see if I can pull it up. Tell me if you see it. All right. Well, you see that obviously.
Yeah.
And then I say dashboard. I pull up my short. Let me see content. I got. Yeah, I can't. I don't know if I can pull up the better be about. I'll get.
Copyright.
Yeah, I'll get copyright because I got the music behind it, but you can check it out whenever you want. But I got short here, and they can't copyright me on this because that's my own music, so they can't fuck with that.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I pull that up, I think I hit this one. Did you see it?
I can see it.
Did you hear it?
No, there's no sound.
No sound. Oh, that's
Yeah.
awful. So,
Yeah.
so let me go. Let me go back to the studio and say, I think it says share sound, right?
I think so. Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
What the hell is it?
that's not something I use a lot
Right.
on my live streams. So
Let me see if I can find that shit. Let's see. Where the fuck won't it work?
here,
See,
EJ knows where it is. I guarantee you that.
yeah, he's a unit, not my cup of tea. Yeah, I feel you, bro. I know I might be a little late with that, but yeah. So yeah, I think it's an option that you use. I'll remove it now and then say because I
It
know it's
might
an
be an
option.
option. Yeah,
Hold up.
yeah. And
This
when it comes up, I think yeah, I think
this is add the stage, right? And then it should say sound right here, right? Sound should
why
be
why don't you click on the corner, see what pops up, edit what name, edit what to say there.
what's that?
You know the wee corner there, right?
Yeah,
Whether
yeah,
say
yeah.
edit name, stop screen. Okay, okay.
Yeah, it says edit name stop screen, but I'm not
Yeah.
seeing anything else. Oh, why I hit one of them?
No. I thought maybe it might have been in there.
Yeah, I thought so too. I'm surprised that it won't do it. Oh, well, well, maybe. Hold up. Let's say maybe when you I already hit share, so maybe here. Nah, that ain't it. Let's see. This is stop. That's a little weird. Says share screen. Oh, I can do it like that. Share with audio. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Can you see it now? You should be able to hear it. Ready?
Well, it's not up on my screen yet.
Oh, it's not? That's weird.
No.
Okay, so let me do it like this. And it's slowing. It won't. I add the stage.
Okay, it's popping in now.
Okay, I go like this. I wonder, it won't let me start it over though. That's what's weird. It won't give me the option. Oh, don't want to do that. Here it is. You hear it?
I hear it.
From the monster, and then he chases him down. The power, the prowess, the technical ability, especially with the jab. Forget the power punches. The jab. Oh man, one jab battle in a small round.
Ooh,
Brutality.
that's beautiful.
I'm afraid of nobody. I fight every man in the world, and I never duck or hide from anyone. What's going on?
Yeah, that's my shit right there.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yo, that's always my opening. Is that man talking right there? I don't hide anything. I'm not ducking or hiding from no man. Yo, that's one of the best lines I've ever heard ever in boxing, man.
Yeah.
Yo, I always use that man when I open up. Damn, it's a damn shame I can't think of his name, which is fucking crazy. I'm just getting old. But the dude who fought in the Super Six, the older dude, I think he's Jamaican. He knocked out Roy Jones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Glenn Johnson.
Glenn Johnson, yeah.
They were like, they were like, so what are you doing? And he was like, look. They were like, what do you think about that? He was like, look, I'm not the best. I'm just here to fight the best. No, there was a claim to be the best. I'm here to fight them all. I'm not ducking or hiding from no man.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah, bro. Best line ever.
Yeah, I thought, yeah. I always liked Glenn Johnson, though.
Me
thought
too.
He wasn't a top guy, but I thought he was a good fighter.
Yeah, but he is a good fighter, but he competed with the best. And I also felt like he was robbed against that light heavyweight that everyone was saying was pound for pound.
Yeah, I know the guy you're on. I forget his name. Yeah.
I felt like he beat the dude too. And that's where I got that shit from, man. Where that motherfucker was like, if it's, it's about who you know and all that shit. And I'm like, that's a damn shame. Yo, I feel like that is how, when I talk about boxing, that's where I'm coming from. It's exactly where we coming from, man. I just always feel that way, man.
Yeah, that's why I feel sorry for McComb tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I feel for
it's horseshit. It's horseshit. Now, I never seen the dude fight before in my life.
First time too.
Yeah,
I've heard him.
Why would I represent him?
Yeah, here's the thing, right? I mean? Yeah, here's the thing, right? I heard a lot about him, right? But I thought Barbosa. I've read that Barbosa is a good boxer, good technical, very solid, right? Does things well. Going into the fight, I thought maybe McComb, reached his level. You know what I mean? He reached his level. You know what I mean? Maybe above his level. And I thought, I thought Barbosa would, take care of him. But that wasn't the case, right? So it was the first time I saw him too. I was like, right, but when you hear things about somebody, and you go, okay, sometimes there's a lot of hype around someone. You have to see it to believe. You know what I mean? To believe it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was surprised too, and I don't know if you know what's his name. We were on EJ's panel together. I don't. Carl Hunter Hansen? No. Crocodile dude, Australian. Jed Kyle.
Oh, you talk about the Australian dude. I'm trying to think of his name. Shit.
Carl Hansen.
Carl? Yeah, I know Carl.
Yeah, right. Hey, he's going, oh, this guy's good, bro.
Who's he talking about?
Yeah, McComb tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, so he knew.
No, he didn't know him, right? He goes, first time seeing him, but he goes, this guy's good. We were watching the fight together.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Us and Jed Kyle and a few other people, I don't even know who they were on EJ's channel,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It was good just to hang out and watch, especially with me and Tony. Me and Tony were just talking boxing all night.
Yeah, that's fun, man. That's fun. Yeah, that's fun, man.
So
it's fun. It's fun when you're talking boxing. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's what it's. To me, that's what it's about. It's about the sport. A lot of people don't get that shit, man. I want you to see something though. I just want you to check something out. Let me see if I could share it.
Yeah, okay.
If I could share this. Okay, so I'll try this, and I'm gonna try to pull this up. Tell me if you can see it.
Well, yeah.
Can you hear it?
The white thing right now.
You can't hear it?
It's not come up yet. The white, it's just on the screen.
I gotta pull it up. It up.
Yeah.
I got you. So I gotta say, so
On that Sharon, yeah.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. It says stop sharing, which means I am sharing. Sharing is caring. So we'll stop screen for a moment, and I'll see if I can pull this shit off the way I pulled it off the last time. I
Yeah.
don't know how I did it, but that shit worked really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So let's see. I'll share. Let's see.
The more times you do it, the easier it gets. So I've been told.
That's what they say. That's what they say. This is fucking let's see.
Yeah. That's what I learned about getting more times, more shots you take, the easier it is to take them.
Okay.
Growing up.
Okay, I got it. So this is the screen. And I'll say wow. And I'll say entire screen. Right? And say share. Oh no, I just fucked up.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I got it now though. Because it gave me the option that time.
Share with audio. Yeah.
Yeah, with the
whenever.
audio, yeah. So check this shit out. See if I can pull it up. Tell me if you can hear it, Joseph. Okay. Got it. All right, cool. So I can pull this up.
I don't care. You got one of the best avatars.
Oh, avatars? Which one?
Yeah. Your avatar, right? I love your
yeah.
avatar. That's awesome.
Oh, you like that one?
The tiger, yeah. That's cool.
Check out my opener though, man. I want you to hear it. Just listen to what Glenn Johnson's saying, man. Tell me if you see it.
Because I'm afraid of nobody.
I see it.
I fight every man in the world, and I never duck or hide from anyone what's going on in boxing. If this is how it has to be for people to be successful, it's not about boxing and using your skills and win the fight. It's about politics and who you know. It should be abolished.
That's my shit. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yo, that is me to the core right there.
That's real shit there.
Yeah, yo, every opening to almost every one of my videos, you'll hear that with the music in the beginning.
That's awesome. Yeah.
If I'm about to talk about some shit, boom. I'm like, yo, that's my shit right there. And that didn't have no music with it, so I know I could get away with it.
Yeah. That's awesome. You know? Like that's the real message too. It's not about what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter, man. It's like, yo, if it ain't about the skills and it ain't about what's going on in the ring, what the fuck we talk about?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And if because he got robbed, man. So that shit was crazy.
Yeah, that's why I go to real boxing fans, right? Because real boxing fans discuss what happens in the ring.
Right.
Agree with them or disagree with them, right? Prior to a fight, you know? Like you know, like a real boxing fan will say what they think is going to happen in the ring, and I always say, in my opinion, this is what's going to happen. You know, so, but like for me, that's the difference, right? And you know when somebody's bullshitting.
Yeah, he's full of shit. Right. That's the thing, though. I mean, it comes out in the wash. Most of the shit comes out in the wash, man. So you just be like, you see the shit, you hear the shit, and you go, okay, I know where we're going, and that's 100%. Absolutely fucking nowhere. Yo, check out this. This is my Abby on my channel now. I want to show you it real quick. This ain't my Abby. This is. I'll show you. See if you like that shit. What do you think?
Oh, that's cool, man. 1-2 kid. That's cool. Hey, you like the tiger, do you?
Yeah. That's my name in real life is Tony. So.
Okay, Tony. Okay, Tony. Okay, Tony the tiger. I get it.
Yeah. So
I get it.
And that's what when I was boxing, that's what they was calling me. 1-2 kid. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
I got the
that was years ago.
Yeah, I got the nickname Train.
Train, yeah.
I used to come for you.
I
Straight. I used to come straight ahead like a train.
No shit. No shit. Yeah, when I was young, I had like I had like nobody could read my jab in my right hand.
Yeah.
And even when I first started off and shit, I was fighting like they put me in and I'd be sparring with guys, and even the Golden Glove guys was like, "What
Yeah.
the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like
Like-
they couldn't read it, and
Yeah.
they like, "Holy shit, that you got to go 1-2, you got 1-2 kid, and you got to go 1-2 kid." And the dude was like, "Yeah, that's 1-2 kid right there. Yeah, I went through that shit too." And
Yeah.
then I come in and shit, but yeah. So, but I didn't get to excel.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to go amateur, which was fucking crazy. They tried to make me a professional before I even had any amateur experience. I told them, "Fuck off."
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm not. Dude, you're crazy. I'm not good." And they were like, "Hey, you want to fight?" At the,
Right.
I'm not gonna say where, but they were like, "Yeah, you want to fight?" And I was like, and it was on television and everything, and they was
Okay.
put me
That's
on,
cool.
and I was like, "Nah," and they were like, "Why?" I was like, "I'm not gonna be someone's fucking showcase."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah, that's
I
right.
need,
That's why
I
that
need
was.
to be,
Yeah.
I need to work on some things. I'm not, just because motherfuckers is like hyping me up. I'm like, I gotta know I'm right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. Here's my thing, right? The reason they called me trail, and the reason I had to do that was physically, height wise, majority of the guys I was in the ring was a lot smaller than. I'm
Mhm.
like, I'm 5'9.5", right? I'm fighting heavyweights. So
No shit.
I'm fighting big, tall, strong motherfuckers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? So I had to turn that. I couldn't jab with a lot of those guys because a lot of those guys just had bigger, were a lot bigger than me,
Yeah.
So I had to turn myself into a train. So
yeah.
I went into the ring one night, right? And this guy, right? He was like 6'2", right? Big, strong, muscular fucking guy, right? And people were tipping him to knock the head off me, right? I went forward, right? And I just, I was just chasing him down all night, and he couldn't get away from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even he was jabbing, moving. Like I was cutting off the ring. I was trying to get under his punches. And I wailed on him, right? And he goes, "You came at me tonight like a fucking train." Right? That's where I got my nickname. Right? And people then next thing you know, right? Next night I go in, there's the fucking train, right?
No shit. No shit.
You know what I mean? Like so, that's where I got my nickname, Train.
I was one of the first female fighters that was on television, like ESPN and shit.
Yeah.
When the females fighters fight, one of them boxed in my gym. She was a professional, and it was so bad then that she was a welterweight, and they put her in with a light heavyweight.
Oh yeah.
Professionally.
Yeah.
Professionally on television.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how far I go back. They wanted me to fight on let me think. Who was the main guy on the card? David Reed.
Jeez, that's what, 1990.
Yeah, like
4 or 5, something like that.
No. 97.
I'm trying to think, David. Yeah.
97.
Yeah. I had my first boxing match. I was 7 years old.
No shit.
All right. And December 15th, 1990.
Dude, that's how old I am. They wanted me to go pro in 97.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, like shit. Yeah, it's like I ain't got an amateur background. Man.
Yeah.
It's crazy though. I remember there was a guy big guy. And I think I was fucking. I was like, we'll just say I was like, and he needed someone to work with. He was wanting to work on some things, and they were like, "You want to get in with him?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was training for the tough man competition. He was a former, he said he was an amateur. I got in the
Yeah.
ring and realized immediately it wasn't. And I told him, "Don't go to the tough man competition." I convinced him. He gave me a ride home. I told him not to go. I beat him up real bad.
I get that.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
was like, "Dude, don't go," because he was like a heavyweight or a cruiser. And I
Yeah.
told him, "Dude, if I
Those guys tell you. Yeah, I get.
I
Yeah.
got a body shot and busted his like nose and shit," and I was like, "Yeah, dude, I got like zero amateur experience."
I know. I used to spar a guy, right? In my early teens, right? 11, 12, 13, whatever. I sparred him for a few years. Every time I touched the nose, he bled. I got to the
Yeah.
point where I just stopped. I stopped
might
aiming
have
for the
been,
nose.
but he might have been a bleeder.
He
That
was a
don't mean
bleeder.
he couldn't fight. Some people just be bleeders.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? He was a tough dude, No problem there. But you touched the nose, he bled. I just got to the point where I just stopped touching the nose or trying to. Anyway, sometimes accidents happens,
You guys didn't have the one with the nose guard. Why didn't you just use that if his nose was?
I know.
That kind of blinds you though.
Yeah.
That gives you like horse vision when you wear that one.
Yeah.
I remember that. It's hard to read the left hooks when you got those on.
Yeah.
I remember that now.
Yeah. So I was like, it just got to the point where I tried to punch below the nose or above, but as soon as you touch the nose, right, he just started bleeding.
No
but
shit.
He was a tough dude. It was just a certain part of his nose that
shit.
Like he just kept getting hit there, and he got to the point where
I got caught, man. I ran into a shot too. It was crazy. I ran into a shot. I think the guy was like a light heavy. Good fighter. He was a good fighter too. And I ran into a shot, and dude, this dude, like I sparred with a lot of folks, a couple pros, not like hard body, like they would take it easy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this dude, I ran it, and it was so bad because I think I might have been wearing one of those, and I went sideways and then came back and didn't see it because I didn't have the vision. You know what I mean? You know how you don't have that vision with certain headgear on?
Yeah.
I ran into the shot. I seen a white flash. He caught me full power, full extension. That shit was on tape and everything. Full extension. He caught me full extension. I ran into the shot, and then I seen a white flash.
Yeah.
Yo, dude.
I know how you feel. Yeah.
I seen the white flash. I opened my eyes. I was still standing. I didn't drop, right? I stepped away, checked my feet, make sure they were steady. They were good. But man, I'm telling you, from my top of my nose to my chin, cheek to cheek, I couldn't feel anything for like 45 minutes.
Yes.
I was like, how hard
I've been
is this
there.
motherfucker just hit me? I was like, holy shit. And then I'm like, I was like bigging myself up. Like, yeah, that shit didn't even faze me. I'm still standing, like, but the problem is,
I know what happens next. I know what happens next.
Right. But what I'm trying to say is, though, if you could feel the shot and it hurts, you're good.
Yeah.
I felt that shit. If you don't feel it, you're in trouble, man.
I guarantee you, once the numbness went away, you're like, I've been there.
I left the ring, man, and I was like, I mean,
it's like adrenaline. I've
been hit before. Like, that ain't nothing. I'm like, this is like way after the sparring match, like a half hour after. I'm like, yo, my cheeks
I
and
got
my chin and my nose is still numb.
yeah, yeah. Here,
It was like a half hour. I was like, holy shit.
yeah.
And then
Once the feeling came back, I guarantee you were in pain.
now, I don't remember being in pain. I just remember my shit being numb and me knowing that ain't good.
Yeah,
It's all like,
I got concussed.
oh no shit.
Yeah. I don't remember what happened the rest of the spar, rest of the evening. For a number of minutes after. I didn't realize I was concussed at the time. Right. When I came to at the end, right, I said what happened, and the guy I was sparring, he goes, I think I concussed you. Right.
No shit.
And
You ain't
first
even know
thing,
what happened, right?
yeah, I had no idea, right? And first thing I said to him, "Did you knock me down?" He goes, "No, I'm like Grant."
right.
Right. Right. But I've been down once in sparring, and that was a body shot. I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a hard shot. He just got me under my arms, my rib cage,
Yeah.
and it was just a clean, accurate. It wasn't powerful, right? But it just got my breath.
Yeah.
That I took a knee.
I fell for like, I don't know, it was like half a second. But you know how you kind of touch the canvas and you get back up. I think that's what happened to me. I got caught with a hook, and same thing, horse vision. You didn't see the hook. I came in. I tried to launch a punch. He had already launched a punch. I didn't even see him throw it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what happened was my legs were off the ground as I was throwing the punch. He threw the punch.
Yeah.
That's why I always, after that was the second. That's when I just completely changed the headgear that I was wearing, because you don't, if it's blocking your vision, you don't even know it's coming. And then I was off 1 foot when he caught me, so it wasn't a hard punch. It just I was throwing the punch. You know how you're doing something? That was different. That didn't even hurt me. It didn't hurt me at all. Like, I wasn't stunned at all. I just was off balance when I threw the shot and got caught with a shot. And then I jumped back up. You know what I mean? Like it was nothing. But I've seen people that didn't even know. Like,
they were.
I've seen it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Where they got hit and their legs just went
buckle.
Yeah.
They
buckled. They fell down. They got up. They didn't know they fell down, or they're like, I slipped, and I'm like, oh shit. So I started learning watching, and I was like, all right, you need to be prepared for this. I would take everything in. You know what I mean? When I go through something or I see somebody else go through it, I'm like, all right, because that better teaches you how to deal with it if it does happen to you, or how to just completely avoid this shit. You know what I'm saying? So
I get you.
Yeah. So I would just eat all that knowledge up. But every time, and to this day, even watching it on, film or just watching on television, for some reason, when guys get knocked out or get buzzed, they don't know what's going on. So I'm thinking, all right, so what they think is they can move their upper half and everything's fine, and they don't know what's going on with their legs.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, so if that's the case, this is what it is. And then even like Roy Jones, when he first got knocked out, he got up, and I was like, they must all have a good ass dream, because they always get up smiling.
Yeah.
So a knockout shot is technically nice dreams, y'all.
I've been told my smile is horrible for the opponent to see. So, hey, When an opponent sees me smiling, apparently that's I had one guy tell me that was terrifying. So, I went through a period. I didn't have dental at the time, right? Where one of my teeth at the back got chipped on it. I chipped it on my gum shield.
What was your best shot?
What?
What was your best? Not your favorite shot, but the most effective one?
Right hook to the body.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What are you, southpaw?
Southpaw, yes.
Yeah.
Right hook to the body.
No
And then
shit.
I'd come up to the head then with it, you know.
You know what though? That's not a normal punch.
Yeah.
That's
For me it is because I was in close a lot of the time, right? I learned to shorten my shots.
Yeah.
Because I had to get in close because, you know, generally I was up against guys taller than me, bigger than me, you know, physically. So
Yeah.
I had to get on. So I learned to shorten my shots and I learned to fight in the inside.
Dude,
So that's where
I had a professional fella teach me how to hide my hook.
Yeah.
Which is awesome because
Yeah.
I think you see Canelo do it.
Yes.
Where he'll hide his hook and then you don't know where he's gonna go with his hook because it all starts from the same place.
Yeah.
So you don't know if
Yep.
you're going high or low with it.
Yeah. My favorite punch to throw is the uppercut. Believe it or not. Right?
Mhm.
But my best shot, my most effective shot's hook to the body.
Yeah.
You know? Right hook to the body because that shot sets up so much for me. Because
Yeah,
usually when I throw that shot, I'm moving away from their backhand.
Mm-hmm.
So they're readjusting.
Yeah. But you gotta be careful with the uppies, man.
Yeah.
Because you're open for that hook, especially that check hook, that step back check hook. Like,
Yep.
If you throw that, it's just like hook me. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I've been caught a
You're
few
so
times with
open for
that. Yes.
shit. If you throw your lead hand hook, it's trouble.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. If you sparred enough, right, and you fought enough,
Yeah.
there's not a combination you haven't been hit with, or a punch. You know what I mean? Or like a situation you haven't been in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
But you said you've been how you started boxing when you were young, right?
I started boxing when I was 7.
All right, and then you finished, or you still mess around now?
I've when COVID hit, right before COVID, I had my last fight.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. So
I think
207 amateur fights.
No shit. Damn,
Yeah.
that's a lot, man.
I had 75 wins.
No shit. That's
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
that's a lot of experience, man.
Yeah.
Like you said,
So,
what combination you ain't been hit with? Shit, you done
been
been
everything.
in there with fucking every style, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, I've been in there with boxers. I've been in there with punchers. I've been in there with brawlers.
I learned so much though.
Yeah.
I learned more from it was a guy. He was 16-1. He was a middleweight. He was 16-1, and it's a shame that I never knew his name. Like he would just come in and just gravitate to me and work with me all the time. And he was a pro. He was a middleweight. He was maybe 6 foot. He was really thin, 6'1", 6'2". But he would work with me all the time, man. And he showed me more than my coach showed me. Anything I could learn in sparring. Like he just showed me so much, and it always made sense.
Yeah.
And he taught me all these tricks, man. Like I heard him with a body shot. We were sparring, and I heard him with a body shot, but I only heard him for half a second. It was just like he was like, ugh! And then he moved, and then he just like jabbed me twice. You know what I mean? and then it got out of dodge, and then he was like, and then he just stopped and grabbed me and was like, "That's what you need to do." And he was like, "That in a professional fight can win you a fight.
Yes.
Just putting me on pause for point such and such seconds gets me out of my game." He was like, "That's what you need to focus on. That's your setup. That's what you need to do. You need to do this. You need to do that." You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and when you get to an elite level, he was like, "Yo, this is what will get you to this." Because I'm like, "Damn, it didn't even phase you." And he was like, "It did. Long enough. If you were an elite fighter, you would have took full advantage of that. But you
Yeah.
to, where you learn not to admire your work, or you learn when someone's hurt and they know how to hide it, or you know what I mean? It was a
Yeah.
lot, man. He taught me all types of shit. He taught me how to throw the hook, how to hide the hook, how to turn it from a jab, how to start it like a jab. You know what I mean?
That-
Like
yeah.
so much.
That's the one punch I was never good at. Turning my hook last second.
Mhm.
I've tried it a number of times, right, and it just comes off sloppy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, right. But I'm saying when you got someone who's willing to just put, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't have to teach you a thing. So I eat
Yeah.
that shit up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I eat that
Like-
shit up.
Like, here's the thing: I was taught how to do it. You know what I mean? It was just something that just I never felt good doing.
Yeah, it just didn't feel right.
Yeah, I felt like I was going against my limbs or whatever. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
You know?
He used to tell me, yeah, it's funny, man, because when we get in there, I remember the first time I did it, and my 1-2 was on point. Like everybody knew my 1-2 was on point, right? And then I 1-2-3, and sometimes your 1-2-3 don't work.
Yeah. You know where you meant man to punch. You know where you meant man to punch like that, right? When I threw it, right, my punch would be like that there.
Yeah.
When I threw the and hooked it last second, it would land like, you know what I mean? And it just felt awkward me doing that.
Oh,
I don't know, right? For whatever reason, I didn't turn it.
Oh, you don't need to. You don't need to turn over your shot. I'm talking about he taught me how to turn a jab into a hook and make it look like I'm throwing a jab, but I'm throwing a hook. Everything started from the same place.
Yeah, I get it.
You throw it from the hip and you stick it out, and you just turn your hand over. So whether you got your fist up or your fist sideways.
Yeah, I just always felt unnatural. I don't know. What I mean, like to do that particular shot. And when I see people do it, I marvel because I go, wow. I can't do
it. I've never seen anyone do it, but I've never seen anyone do it like Klitschko though.
Yeah, Klitschko is a gear.
I never hear anybody talk about it. I've never heard, as much as I've been in the boxing community, as much as I've watched boxing, I never hear anyone talk about how well he did that. Where he just pumped the jab, throw the right hand, pump the jab, and then I seen him mid punch,
yeah.
Hit it, and I'm not saying remotely that I even come close to doing it him. Like maybe the guy that was showing me could do that shit, but I mean, I could do all right, but nah, I don't know about now, but at one point in my life, possibly, I was pretty good at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But your body don't react the same as you get older. But I'm constantly surprised in myself, man. Shit, I beat my son. He's an athlete. He's well, not in boxing. I'm not talking about. I wasn't boxing him or nothing. But he's a professional lacrosse player, and he's also he wrestled football. He had a scholarship at a big college in our city and all that. Really fast. He's an athlete.
Yeah.
And
sometimes
we were balling, and he was beating me, and we were playing the 7, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he said and he had me down 6 donut. And then, because he was like, then he started trying to rib on me and said,
Yeah.
why don't you jump? Why you throw a jumper like an old man? Yo, I scored 7 points in a row on him.
Yeah. I get
I
you.
beat him 7-6. And he was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you still mad about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I just turned it up on him. Like, what?
I get you, man.
Yeah, I was like, fuck that. I'm gonna show you how I used to ball. But I was afraid. You not afraid, but more like you
Hesitant.
move your ankles. No, you move your ankles and they just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, don't.
You assume they not gonna move the same because you don't move them the way you did. And I'm like,
Yeah,
you know what? I need to move more because I'm like, yo, why am I concerned? And if I could do this like this, I'm like, yo.
Yeah. I was telling my cousin, right? My younger cousin, because he's like in his mid-20s now. He's like 27, 26.
Yeah.
Right, and he boxes the odd time, right? He's the odd fight here and there. And I keep telling him, right, if I could put my knowledge now, right,
To your body.
my knowledge now into a 27-year-old me, I'd be unstoppable. I keep telling him that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I spar with him sometimes. He's a decent boxer, right? Himself, right? Like, I take it easy on him, right? I don't hit him hard. He don't hit me hard. But we spar. I use it to teach him stuff. Points here, movements. We just spar out the backyard and sometimes. But I always tell him, right? Put a 27-year-old me. Put this brain right now into a 27-year-old body, I'd be unbeatable. With the athleticism I used to have, so, but it's funny. Okay. Are you there? Okay. I don't know if 1-2 Kid can hear me, but I can't hear him. So yeah, I don't know if he's talking right now. But I've been enjoying the stream. It is 10:45 a.m. I haven't slept. Yeah, I haven't slept.
Well, maybe you should get some sleep, my man.
Yeah, that's the plan. Hey, and I'd like to thank you, 1-2 Kid, for having me on.
Man. No problem, man. Let Mark know I said what's up, man. And
I will.
Take care. You're always a pleasure to have on, man. I always enjoy chit-chatting with you, man. I'm done too myself.
Same here. I always enjoy coming up talking boxing. We're real boxing fans. That's the goal. So,
yeah, man. Well, enjoy the rest of your night, man. Thanks for swinging by. Shout out to everybody that came through. Not that many tonight. I don't get on like that no more, but maybe I'll just kick that shit up sooner than later, man. Enjoy the rest of your night. Don't do drugs.
It's morning time here, man.
Yo, man, don't do drugs unless you buy them from Brian.
That's I'll charge reasonably. How's that? Hey. All right.